What the fuck was that, Ken?
Joey Fats Radio, row 1C1.
I've been loving every second. I'm not rooting for injuries openly, but
I just pretended that was Brian Deegan.
I'm so fucking pumped. I'll be like, yeah, bitch, fuck
I will do that.
I'm gonna find him on LinkedIn and be like, "Did you punch a kid in the face? Tell me the truth."
All right, Sean brought his A game tonight. All right, okay, I like it. I like where this is going. And I don't want to put this as like a thing. Like, he wasn't a bad guy as far as we know.
Who said he was a bad guy?
I don't know, but I feel like we're painting him in this light that he was like this bad guy, and I don't want to do that. To this day, I hope you hear this. Fuck you. But rules are rules, okay? Stupid rule, but it was a rule. If you were a Crip and you were cooling in the cut, what do the Bloods do? Are they booling in the butt? Yep. Also, we are extremely juvenile, and yeah, whatever. Fuck you. All right.
You fucking smacked me in the ass, you dumb fuck.
Oh, yeah, baby. A lot of smacking in the ass going on tonight. A lot of ass smacking going on tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back.
Wow.
It is another episode of Row 1, Seat 1. Thank you all for joining us. I am Joey Fats.
Hi, everybody.
With me, as always, Plizzy, Mr. Betancourt.
Dr. Nick.
Joey Fats Radio, Row 1, Seat 1 live on the one, the only,
shit.
the New Bedford Guide. 774-992-8702 is the phone number. If you want to give us a call, we are going to cover everything we missed from last week, including the Super Bowl, because we were off last week, because I was in the great sunshine state of Florida watching the greatest spectacle in all of racing.
Wow, great job.
Thank you, lady with the golden Totinsky. And we took the week off because I flew out Tuesday morning last week.
Yeah, we were trying to come up with like a Monday night show. Thank God you weren't relying on me, because by the time I got home and got my kid situated, it was like
I was
8:40,
so over it.
And
I
you
was
were,
just like,
and
dude.
you were like, dude, fuck it, like forget it. I was like, good, because it's already gonna be 9 p.m.
I still had so much to pack, so much to do, like so much shit. I was just like, yeah, nah.
We were gonna get on and just be like, listen,
We were like, so anyway,
it was a disaster.
it went pretty much how we told you it was going to go. The Eagles dropped their
did.
dick on the Kansas City Chiefs' shoulder.
Not the way that I thought it was.
There
gonna
was no
happen,
three-peat. There was never going to be a three-peat. We tried telling you that 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
You know,
Kiss up.
and you know, we were like, all these Kansas City Chiefs. We told the Kansas City Chiefs, fans, and we were like, there's not going to be a three-peat. And they're like, yeah, we were like, nuh-uh. And they were like,
The fuck you mean, nah?
and we happen to be right. Again, because on this show, what is the one thing we always talk about on this show, boys?
Being right.
Accountability, right? If we're wrong, we're going to own it, and we're going to explain why we're wrong, but we're not wrong. We were right. I think we had a brief, fleeting moment leading up to the Super Bowl, the Tuesday after the AFC Championship,
We were wrong about one thing collectively.
the Cincinnati Bengals,
No.
San Francisco 49ers.
No, just about the Super Bowl.
Oh. I thought you meant
Just-
season-long-wise.
No,
I was like, 'cause that was two things.
just Saquon.
Yes. And it killed my parlay because I did a very Saquon-centric parlay.
Dude,
That's why I said they won and not in the way that I thought they were
Yeah.
going to win. But
Dude, Saquon, how many?
he got shut down.
But
No, he
didn't
changed
they,
his
though?
cleats three
but
times.
Didn't they, though? We'll get into the Super Bowl. We'll break it all down in the first half of the show. It's going to be a very Super Bowl-heavy show. And then we're going to get into the Daytona 500. I was there. We got some great videos for you.
Wow.
We're going to get into NASCAR bets. Hey, your boy is already starting off the season batting 1,000. 2 years in a row, I've hit the Daytona 500. I fucking told you to bet on Slick Willie. I put it in my post on Saturday night.
You love that dude.
Look, there's his car right there in
Just
front of
a good
Paul.
driver.
Right in front of Paul is Slick Willie's Daytona 500 winning car.
Slick Willie.
Actually, it's not. It's just his 2024. It was the closest they had to the Daytona 500 winning car. I pre-ordered the Daytona 500 winning one on Lionel already.
I still think of
So-
Jeff. I still think of Jeff Gordon.
It is Jeff Gordon's old scheme.
It's
It
his
looks
old
good.
scheme.
And, right next to it is the absolutely gorgeous row 1, seat 1 Ford Dark Horse Mustang driven by none other than myself.
Number 27.
Yeah.
I can't help it now.
It's too good. It's too good. But yeah, so we will get into the Daytona 500. We'll go through that. The whole experience with that, it was unfucking believable. If you've never been to a Daytona 500, I highly recommend you go. It is a sight to behold. Uncle Donnie was there. I got to see Air Force One do a fucking like flyby over the track, and then I saw Uncle Donnie standing there with his granddaughter on pit road, like right in front of me, and I was like, Uncle fucking Donnie's here. And that's how you know it's going to be a good day. When the F-16s are fucking roaring overhead and Uncle Donnie's standing down there waving and you're like, holy shit, America is fucking back, baby. Let's go.
Yep.
So we'll get into all that as the show moves along. 774-992-8702 is the phone number if you want to give us a call. Phone lines are open ASAP. Do not hesitate. Give us a buzz. We are ready. We're ready and raring to go. We want to talk to you. We know it's been 2 weeks, and we've got a lot to cover. We'll do a NASCAR betting preview somewhat for this week coming up, but it'll be mostly a review from last week. For the bets, you can follow. You'll be able to find all of my bets. I will share them on my personal page, but they'll be on the Row One Seat One page. Usually, at least by they'll be there before, with due time before the race on Sunday. So I'll try to get them up. I'll try to get them up on. I'll try to get them up on Saturday nights, but I can't always promise. But Sunday morning by the latest. Joey Fats Radio, Row One, Seat One. Who's this?
I'm here to talk shit and chew bubble gum.
Let me guess.
All out of gum.
Hey, you must be all out of fucking bubble gum.
That's fucking right, buddy.
Hell yeah, brother. Dan from Philly, what's going on, bud? Long time no talk.
Long time.
It's been a long time. I haven't called in. I told you guys 2 years ago that I'd call in if the Eagles won.
I
and
promised
they
you
didn't
2
seem to win
years
that
ago.
time, but I figured I'd give you a call this time.
Actually,
you're a man of your word.
Technically, he kept his promise. He's like, I'm going to call him when the Eagles win. And he just straight up didn't call until the Eagles win. He's like, I told you.
Dude, it's going to happen. I didn't know it was going to be 2 years later, but, it happened.
Yeah, facts.
But yeah, Dan.
What do you need to know? What are you guys talking about? I don't even know.
We're diving right into the Super Bowl. First things first.
Yeah.
It's
What do you guys need to know?
You timed your call
there,
perfectly.
But, I know all about it.
Did you riot downtown Philadelphia with everybody else?
Fuck no, dude. You kidding me? No.
Is Coupe de Jean that guy?
Dude, Coupe de Jean is that guy.
Coupe de Jean makes me moist in the vagine.
That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
Dude, I did not know they had a white safety. Even when I saw his picture, I was like, I did not know he was white.
They got two.
Dude, well, you were talking about the other week. You were talking about Reed Blankenship.
Yeah,
you didn't know who Reed Blankenship
Not
was.
the kicker.
No.
That was the guy that you had messed up. I
Yeah.
heard that. I was talking shit to you.
First of all, I thought it was Rodrigo Blankenship, and I was like, that was your fucking
Hell
kicker from
no,
years
dude.
ago.
No.
No, I
Tebow
saw the
Blankenship,
picture
nah.
of him, and I was just like, I should have stood my ground because I was like, fucking hey. I'm like, they wouldn't put Coupe de Jean with a goddamn kicker. I'm like, call
Hell
both
no,
of
dude.
them back.
Yeah, he's right. Yeah,
They said
he's right,
something.
yeah.
I was just like, I'm like, damn, I didn't know they had two white fucking, white
I still
backfield,
didn't know.
like, corner and safety.
Well,
whatever.
Reed plays safety, and then DeJean's a
I just,
corner. Yeah.
This is funny. I was
Dude,
like, fuck.
How cool was it? Is that kid is a 22-year-old to have a pick six in the Super Bowl on your
Oh my
birthday?
god, I can't even imagine, dude.
I mean, it's the
dude's a
kind of
rookie.
shit you
he's like
couldn't make it up.
12 years younger than I am, dude. Kidding
Oh.
me? Seriously, that'd be awesome.
Hey, who's that lineman kid too? Who was on Michigan last year, and then he went to the Eagles. He's a rookie.
I don't know about shit about that. You talking about Zach Bond?
Yeah, he went back to back. He won with Michigan last year, and then he went to the Eagles.
Oh, wow.
So he went.
Oh,
he-
no. You're
No,
talking
Zach
about
Bond's a linebacker.
CJ Gardner Johnson.
Oh, is that who it was? I forget. He played for
Yeah,
Michigan.
you're talking
won.
about he went.
I
He
saw
was
it
in the
before.
Eagles 2 years ago, and then he went to Detroit, and then he came back.
Oh no, hold on. I gotta look this up.
Yeah, I have no idea what Paul's talking about, but
Kid went back to back.
no, Dan, it was the Super Bowl went exactly how I hoped it would have gone. I wanted a stress-free Super Bowl.
I wasn't expecting it, dude. I'm telling you,
I finally got one.
I thought we were gonna win, but I didn't know it was gonna be by fucking. It was 40-6 before garbage time, so fuck it.
Right. And that was kind of the best way to do it, in my opinion, because
I think that's the only way to do it. I don't think if there was a close game, I think the Chiefs would have won. But that's the only way to beat the Chiefs. You just beat the fuck out of them.
well, the
Dude, it was all
difference
trenches.
between this game and we were just about to jump into it because Paul and Sean were saying that the Eagles didn't win it like we thought they were going to win it, which meant because we thought it was going to be a very Saquon heavy game.
Oh,
And
well, yeah. Well,
even
that's
though-
the one thing that they worked on, probably the Chiefs.
Trevor
And that's the
Keegan.
only thing they worked on.
Kid Trevor Keegan was the guy I was thinking about.
Trevor Keegan?
Yeah, he won.
I don't know
national
who that
He
is,
won
bro.
national championship with Michigan.
Oh,
last
yeah, I
year.
never heard of him.
And then now he's on the Eagles this year. I'm saying he went back to back. It's kind of crazy.
Okay.
Just plug his
No,
back.
I think the way we thought it was going to go was that if the Eagles were going to win in this fashion, it was going to be on Saquon's back. And when you look at the stat sheet, Saquon had a pretty quiet day, all things considered. I mean, he broke Terrell Davis's record for most scrimmage yards in a season, you know, including the playoffs. And congrats to him, he deserves it. That's a fucking awesome record to break.
4 or something like that. Yeah.
Yep, and he did that, and he was, and honestly, he was the best non-quarterback in the league this year, and it's not even close. So,
dude, yeah,
he's
MVP in my book. He's MVP, bro.
And not for nothing, but I know all the flash plays, the pick six. Jalen Hurts played great, but that whole offense, if you watch that game, the way the Kansas City Chiefs keyed in on Saquon Barkley, and they were like, "We're not going to let Saquon beat us." They were so worried about Saquon beating him that it just made it basically Jalen Hurts was able to put it in cruise control.
That's exactly right. That's all he needs to do,
and
man.
That was
as soon as you
perfect.
got one thing figured out, just let him do his thing, and then it is what it is, man.
Now who's the OC? Was it Kellen Moore, right?
Yes.
Kellen Moore,
So,
yeah.
Kellen
He's
Moore,
not here anymore, but yeah.
Yeah, right. I know he left. He went to what?
Kellen,
Saints?
not anymore.
New Orleans, yeah.
So he went to third, whatever it was. I think it was third quarter. They came out with the ball, and the infamous he goes over to the fucking head coach Sirianni, who I do not like still to this day, and he says,
"Don't say that. Don't say that, bro."
I don't.
I love him. I love him. Everyone loves him.
I don't think he's a good coach. I think he's shit.
You don't think Kellen Moore's a good coach?
No, not Kellen Moore.
He
I
said
said
Nick Sirianni's.
Oh, Nick
Sirianni.
Sirianni. Well, we did say, but
Sirianni's a great
we did say before the Super Bowl, the only thing that can beat the Eagles is Nick Sirianni.
Yes, I think Howie Roseman deserves all the flowers you could possibly give.
Howie Roseman.
Love, Howie is the man. Bro.
Dan, how long have we been talking about Howie Roseman now? 10 years?
Dude, oh my God. Dude, I love Howie. Dude, did you see it at the parade? Yo, he got pegged in the face with a fucking beer.
Yes.
I saw that.
He got pegged
cut
in the
off.
face.
Oh my God, dude,
And
that's
then-
the funniest shit ever.
And then they asked him about his life, and he told a crazy Terrell Owens story his rookie year. Do you remember? Did you hear it?
No, what is
So
this?
2004, Terrell Owens is on the Eagles. The Eagles
Right.
go to the Super Bowl, right?
Yep.
And he says, "I'm just getting with the Eagles," and he goes, "That's my rookie year getting into the front office." And he goes, "And the first person I had to deal with was fucking Rosenhaus and Terrell Owens." And he goes, "And Terrell Owens was a fucking asshole." And he goes, and he was and he said he was the biggest asshole. And he goes, "We had that huge contract dispute and all this other shit."
Yep.
And
yeah, he did. Yep.
offseason came. Obviously, we didn't win the Super Bowl. We lost to the Patriots, and the offseason came. And he goes, it ended bad. He goes, nobody talked. He goes, we just all left on bad terms. He basically left the facility saying, "Fuck Andy Reid. I hope you choke on like a sub. I hope Roseman dies in his ass." And he said every mean thing you could possibly say out the door. And he goes, He goes, "Now I'm gonna go to Cabo. I'm going to Cabo with my family." He goes, "I'm with my beautiful wife." He goes, "We're getting on a plane." And he goes, "I'm sitting on this plane with my wife." And he goes, the pilot comes on. The pilot says, "We're waiting for one more passenger." And Howie goes, "Oh, it must be the guy in front of me because there's one empty seat in front of me." And he goes, 15 minutes later, I see a tall, attractive black man bend through that thing and come in. It was Terrell Owens. And he goes, he looks at his wife, and Howie Roseman looks at his wife and he goes, "You got to be absolutely fucking kidding me right now." And he goes, sure enough, Terrell Owens sat in front of me, and he saw me and made eye contact, and I nodded to him, and I said, hey, T.O., and he said, "Fuck you, bitch." He sat in the seat in front of me, jacked his seat all the way back into my lap as for the whole 2-hour flight. And then when he got up after the plane ride was over, he said, "Hey, take care, T.O. Have a nice off season." Till Owen turned around and said, "Fuck you." And that was his rookie introduction to dealing with players. And he says to this day, Terrell Owens is the worst person he's ever dealt with. And he's like, "It's all good though." He goes, "We've talked since," but he goes, "Terrell Owens hands down the worst person."
Yeah, I believe it.
Dude, that is so funny. Dude, I did not hear that story. That's hilarious.
But I think he was been drinking all morning. He was just saying shit.
I bet.
People are asking him
I'm telling
questions.
you, these guys were fucked up.
Yeah,
man.
people are asking him
Oh,
questions.
dude, the parades are the best.
And
you
he's
you get the best candid answers out of people at those.
But he was saying shit he probably shouldn't say. He was like, "Oh, sometimes agents call me," and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'll consider that." And I hang up. He goes, "I'll never consider that guy ever again."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Guy, you probably shouldn't be saying this out loud."
Well, dude, I mean, it's Howie. Dude, I'm telling you, I love Howie, man. He's been such a good GM, and he's been, like I said, getting all these guys in here and shit like that, dude. It's unbelievable work he's done.
Are they
I mean,
I'll
it's
give
year
him
after
a
year,
pass.
dude.
Are they gonna give that fucking ball boy a fucking ring or something? Are they gonna do something?
Dude, I
to that
hope
kid?
so. I hope so, dude.
The
one
ball
that
boy?
You didn't see that? You didn't see Saquon
Oh my
walk
God,
him
yeah.
out of the fucking out of the crowd because the
Dude,
ball
that
boy
is
for the
unbelievable
Eagles
too.
was
I
hanging.
can't even imagine. Like, you'd think they put him on the bus too. I mean,
That's
most
what
of
I
us put him
thought.
on the
I was
bus,
like,
you know?
damn,
Yeah,
yeah.
they straight up forgot him. I thought you meant the big Italian guy that's always been sitting
No,
around. He's
talking
like,
about
oh,
the kid.
Big
Oh, the
Dom.
security guy,
Yo,
Big
Dom had a,
Big Dom,
had a
This
whatever.
was
little-
a
had
kid.
little
He was
speech.
like, he was just on the side of the road, and he was like yelling at Saquon.
Yeah,
and Saquon was like,
yeah, I
"Yo,
know
what
exactly
the
what
fuck?"
you
And he
mean. That's
grabbed him and he
hilarious, dude.
pulled
That
him
was
up
awesome.
over the shit. And he was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Like,
yeah, he was like Saquon's like locker room assistant. Like the kid would be like, "Yo, can I get you anything?" He would give him like new towels and get him water and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like all season, like at the Philadelphia Eagles facility. And the kid was like in the audience. The kid was like, "Yo, Saquon, my man." He's like, and Saquon's like, "You should be on the bus. Like, what are you doing?"
Yeah,
What are you
here?"
doing here? No
that's,
shit.
I kind of thought about that. I was like, "Yo, I'm like, they need to like let that kid go to the White House. They need to give him a ring. They need to do the whole. They need
He's-
to do
Oh,
the
they'll
whole.
probably hook
I
him
hope
up.
they give him a ring. Seriously.
Yeah, that's
Jerry
fucked.
Lowry's one of the better
I was gonna
owners in
say
sports.
he's a cool
so.
guy, right?
Easily,
and this is
dude,
second
yeah.
one in a couple of years, dude. Eagles are fucking loaded.
Yeah,
right
I
now,
love it,
you know?
dude. And honestly, I love the fact that the Eagles are good, and they're gonna be good for a long time because this train
Dude,
is
we're gonna-
showing no
we're gonna
signs
run
of
it
slowing
back.
down.
We're
They're-
gonna run it back. No
They're
problem.
they're
dude.
talented.
And they're
young
deep.
too, aren't they?
They're talented, they're deep, and they're young. Like this is a dynasty powerhouse
As
in the
long
making.
as most can stay, they might be able to keep
Dan, let me-
KC on their back now.
Let me ask you, Dan.
What's up?
Did you have like a big Super Bowl party? You have a lot of people, or are you like me and you like watch
Dude,
it solitarily?
I literally, it was me and my girl, right? All we did, I didn't even watch the fucking game. I listened to the fucking radio. I can't listen to Tom Brady's dumbass.
I do have to say I was not thoroughly enthused with the Tom Brady.
I think he did a good job.
He didn't do bad, but it wasn't. I'll get into
I
that
don't
later.
know.
But
I don't know. I knew Tom Brady was on the call, and I was like, no, fuck that. I'm not even watching it. I'd rather listen to Merrill Reese.
I mean, I'd rather
radio.
listen to Merrill Reese than anybody on
fucking flip
TV,
out.
but that's just me.
So did Dan have his like bow and arrow like right behind the couch and Terrence like you say one wrong thing, motherfucker, arrow to the TV.
Basically, that's how it's gonna be, man. Yeah.
So you listened on the radio. That's fucking OG right there. That's diehard.
Dude, the
Dude.
radio. I'm telling you, Merrill. Even like at the parade, dude, they had Merrill Reese on the call at the beginning of the parade. Man, it was awesome, man. That guy is the goat.
You know,
Radio announcer, local guy, whatever you want to call him. He is the best.
So I got
I like to listen to him and Mike Quick. Obviously, he was on the Eagles too
Yep.
back in the day. So
Mike Quick. Yeah, that's a name I haven't heard in a while.
yeah.
My dad gave me the idea. Paul and I did it a couple of years ago. So my dad, who's a diehard Celtics fan, he used to mute the TV and put the radio on and listen to Johnny Most. I don't know if you're familiar with Johnny Most, the Celtics play-by-play caller from the 80s
Not
and
me,
70s
but
and
I get-
60s.
Dude, that's kind of what I probably, because actually I was talking to a guy at work. He's like, yeah, you should have done something like that. And I was like, okay, well, I didn't think about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so,
But it's
well,
like,
Paul
I'm
and
so
I...
used to, like, I'm too nervous as far as like big games go. I can't watch, especially because I have a fucking heart attack. You know what I mean? So,
That's what
as
they
long
wanna
as
hear,
I'm-
though.
As long as I'm listening
That's
on the radio,
that's because you're a real fan.
Bang!
Oh, yeah.
Paul and I were able to pull it off a couple of years ago. The Minnesota Saints game, the Case Keenum Minnesota Miracle.
Yeah,
We
dude,
were
dude,
able.
that's
So I was able to
miracle.
take. I was able to take my iPad and sync up Paul Allen and the Minnesota Vikings play-by-play call.
Yeah, I
with,
bet
with,
not.
with the television. Like I had them both going, and like we just paused the DVR and then like played until it was off, and we had it synced up. And dude, the worst fucking thing that happened was it was on my phone actually. And when we were behind because it took a couple seconds for us to sync.
Yeah.
Once Diggs caught the ball and went into the end zone, my dad was so excited he called me to be like, "Did you just see that?" And it cut the play call out before we got a chance to hear it.
Oh, dude.
And
no.
it like ruined
Fucked
everything.
up.
And like we waited like the whole game. You know what I mean? We're listening to Paul Allen, and then it gets to that, and it fucking got ruined. And not my dad's fault. He had no fucking idea what we were doing. But like, I'm like, damn, I should have had it on my iPad instead. Like, and
Yeah.
Paul's like, yeah, but like, how are we supposed to know? And I'm like, I know. Like, I thought I had my phone on silent. Like, what the fuck? But that's a good idea though. If you can get if you have Sirius XM, like the app,
Yeah.
it's like, dude, it's like $5 a month. and like you can get any NFL radio call like
Right.
streamed. Dude, sync that shit up with your fucking TV or on your computer, dude, and then you
Dude,
get.
that's the whole thing. Especially like not this game, but like any other game when like Collinsworth is. Dude, if Collinsworth is on the call, I cannot listen to it, dude. He glazes, too much. He's a fucking Philly hater. I can't deal with it.
He is a Philly hater.
So I can't deal with it. So it is what it is, man. Like I said, I like to listen on the radio anyway, just because I think those guys are the best.
Oh, dude, imagine Monday night. Monday night against the Cowboys, and you don't have to listen to Aikman and Buck. You can just listen to Merrill Reese while you watch TV. Like,
Exactly,
hey,
dude.
maybe that'll be part of the new Netflix deal, Sean. We'll get into that.
we'll get into that.
Oh boy.
But anyway, no, Dan. I'm happy for you, man. I'm happy for all my Philly fans.
Here's the thing, man. I didn't think I was going to see one in my lifetime. I can't imagine seeing two. This is the best day.
You might see another
It was
one.
the best day
and
of my life.
and both times you guys killed a three-peat dead in its tracks.
Oh,
Yep,
dude, that's
thank
what I'm
God,
saying, man.
man.
That's all we do, man.
I
We
mean,
gotta
you
wait
beat
for
Tom
three
Brady and
to
Pat
come up.
Mahomes. Like, that's pretty fucking good. Like,
But-
that's.
I'm
Well-
glad my boy Jalen Hurts got one.
I know you
Oh,
are a
man,
big Jalen Hurts fan.
I was always
I'm glad you're a fan, please.
Yeah, I was always a pretty big Jalen Hurts fan. I loved him in Bama, and then I
Dude,
felt
I'm telling you,
slighted
that
when
guy,
they sat his ass for Tua.
He is so locked in. It's unfucking
Right.
real, man.
Yeah,
Like,
man, he made his way to OU, killed it there, made his fucking statement, bro, and he got his way in, and now he's the fucking man, bro. I was pumped for him. I was happy he got one. I've always been a Jalen Hurts fan, so for him to get that out of the way this early in his career, now to have, like I said, that stacked fucking team, you never know, man. They could, I don't know if they'll do it again. It's hard to say that. That's a big
Yeah.
fucking
Tough to
if.
repeat, but
in the NFL,
look, man,
it's been doing. It's been done plenty of
I
times.
can
but
see the Eagles winning two out of three,
Well,
three
here-
out of
at
four,
least,
like,
another,
3 out of
dude,
5.
at least one more in the next 3 years.
Oh, 100%.
At it too. In 2017-18, whatever, we had the whole ragtag, underdog team, backup quarterback.
Tom
That,
Brady,
and
I'm
we
gonna
just
fuck
got
your
lucky,
wife.
basically. But now this year, we fucking figured it out,
He
so
might
that we
have.
got the whole team, so that we have continuity coming through.
Yeah, I know it's good.
No,
yeah.
that's the thing. This team is totally different than the 17-18 team because this team is, like I said, this team is young, they're talented, and they're deep, and they're stacked.
They dominate, dude.
And
They
yeah,
dominate. It's not like I said, they don't get lucky, man. They're actually fucking good.
Yeah,
Right.
as long
This
as
isn't
y'all
like the
keep-
Kansas City Chiefs where they need the refs and things to bounce their way and shit like that.
Keep the
Nah,
O-line,
they can
keep
just
the
flatten you.
D-line.
Yep.
know,
no,
I mean, I
guess,
think
man.
the only blemish on Philly's record this year is giving up 5 touchdowns to
Washington.
Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
And that one loss, like
freakish
that's the
Well,
only
yeah,
that's like the
that was
only game
bad.
you can look at and be like, they didn't play great that game. But every team has a game
But
like
what
that
were
over the course of the
odds
year.
that fucking
Yeah.
happening?
I mean,
You
every
know
great
what
team.
I'm saying?
Like, go back to like all the great teams, the '98 Broncos, the '04 Patriots. They all had a fucking game where you're like, the '07 Patriots. You're like, huh? Like, what the fuck was that? And it didn't matter. You know, in the end,
true.
it didn't matter. Well, for the '07 Patriots, it did. But
Yes.
It happens. But all I gotta say right now, I gotta go to bed. But I gotta say, go fucking birds.
go
Yeah.
Birds!
Nice, brother.
Dan,
Have
take
a
care.
good night,
Dan,
fellas.
thanks for the call, bud.
Hey, have a good night, bro.
I love you guys,
Later,
man.
man.
Love you, bud. Dan's a great fucking die-hard Philly fan from Pennsylvania.
No
he is
shit, I
a
didn't know that.
long-time listener of the
Damn,
show.
good for him. So
he
he's
is
got
one of
two.
our
He's
he is
got
one
to
of our
enjoy.
A1 fans, dude. Like he was listening back in
Yeah.
2013 when we first started this show.
Yep.
He's been listening that long.
Yeah, like you said, that's cool. He's got the taste of two now. You know what
I
I'm saying?
I feel really good for the Philly fans that I know.
Must be good.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
must
I
be
know
nice.
we see the Philly. Everybody likes to clown the Philly fans, like on Twitter and shit, because they're snatching people's hats in the parking lots, and it's like this and that. But guess what? Guess where I've had my hat snatched and thrown off?
Yeah.
Gillette Stadium.
Yeah,
And guess what? Guess what quarter it was? Oh, they hadn't even kicked the fucking ball off yet.
And the only
somebody took my
place-
hat off and threw it in the stands. Like,
The only place Philly fans are getting clowned is online. They don't get clowned in person.
Yo,
much, 'cause-
it's a good point.
You know what I mean?
It's a good fucking
the
point.
only time I ever see Philly fans really, it's like, yo, you're not gonna go into fucking Eagle Stadium and as a Baltimore fan or a
Hell
or
no.
a Tampa or any kind of fucking other fan, doesn't matter, and clown on them, dude. You're gonna
Listen,
get
I will
fucked,
wear
bro.
I will wear any one of the
Those are some
31
rugged
other
fucking
jerseys
people, bro.
into Gillette any day of the week and I don't give two fucks.
Those are some rugged ass.
I ain't
people.
doing that in Philly. I ain't doing it in Baltimore.
Philly, Baltimore, and Pittsburgh, man. Those are just
Pittsburgh, I would do it because Pittsburgh is like,
cold weather.
yeah,
hot
but they're just a
people,
little
bro.
bit. They're a little bit different breed of fan in Pittsburgh. They're not like They're not. I don't know. They're that big of assholes. They're loud. You know, Pittsburgh fans are always a little louder than they should be.
I lump the Pittsburgh, Philly, and Baltimore fans together, and then you have like their retarded cousin, the Browns. the fucking Cleveland fans. They look like that dude. I can't remember the Freddie Kitchens.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's what So it's like, yeah, you guys might be like hard, you know, weathered, cold weather like type fans, but you don't match that same intensity that like Baltimore or Philly or Pittsburgh do, bro.
Baltimore and Philly bring a different type of intensity.
Like
Philly fans, dude, I'm telling you, man, Philly fans.
Green Bay and Detroit are completely different cold weather type fans. You're talking about these
Green Bay's like a very polite fan base. You know what I mean?
Right,
like they're like,
hey,
they're like,
would you like to wear my cheese hat? It's
warm.
warm.
Like, yeah, I got a cheese hat here. Would you like some fish tacos? You know?
It's warm.
Oh, don't you know? You know, like.
Right.
I know, but no, Philly fans get a bad rap because. Listen.
Because Tom Brady, I'm a fucking wife.
They can be loud, they can be obnoxious, they can be brash, but guess what? When your team's doing good, you get to be like that. That's how you get to do it. That's how you get to act.
How do you feel about? I can't. I don't think I can even say this.
You know, people always like to sit there and like. I'm a big fan of like. I'm a big like. I win with grace, but I'm a terrible loser. You know what I mean? I was told from a very young age, like, show me a good loser, I'll show you a loser. So I don't, you know, I mean, I have no problem with guys walking off the field and not shaking hands and like, you know, doing that kind of shit. But when you win, I believe that you should be gracious in accepting your accolades and shake your opponent's hand if they choose to shake yours. But again, I never hold it against the ones that don't want to. But when you win, hey, good game, man. Like, hey, you guys played well. Like, you know what I mean? Things didn't go your way, but you're a good player. Like, I've done that before. You know what I mean? In every sport I've ever played, whether it's paintball, football, whatever. Like, you know, you'll always go out and find the guy that you battled for 60 minutes in a football game, and tell him like, yo, man, like, you're a dog, bro. Like, you can play. Like, I would take you on my team any fucking day of the week, bro. You play like that. You know what I mean? Like, and even though it's not the greatest, you know, you're still pissed because you lost when you hear that shit. It is a little bit of a consolation. You know what I'm saying? So, but no, Philly fans, they're on top of the world right now. They get to fucking drop their dicks on everybody's shoulders. They get to say whatever the fuck they want, clown whoever they want, take whoever's hat off their head that they want, and just straight punk people right now because guess what?
It's crazy.
They fucking won. They earned it. Joey Fats Radio, row 1C1.
Joey.
Oh, Pulling on a scale of one. On a scale of 1 to they killed Bruce Willis at the end of Armageddon. How upset are you about this Super Bowl?
Yeah. Well, I was actually gonna ask you how fucking happy are you?
Honestly, I'm not as happy as I was when like the Patriots would lose because I don't. As much as I hate the Chiefs, I don't harbor the same hatred for the Chiefs that I do for the Patriots.
It's a different era.
That's a deep, and it is a different era, but that was a deep, emotionally attached hate. This is more just like, I've hated the Chiefs my whole life. I can't fucking stand them. I can't believe they're good. And yet, here they are.
But isn't it like a lack of
Andy
competition?
Reid's a good coach, man.
Listen, Andy Reid's the best coach in the league, hands down.
I just don't think anybody realized that KC was going to strike that much lightning like that quickly. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, Joey, this is the thing, though.
Championship game.
Well, we were both wrong because we both picked the Chiefs. Not that I'm surprised the Eagles won.
Well, no, I ended up I picked the Chiefs when you called the week after the AFC Championship. I said my heart was on the Eagles, but my smart money was on the Chiefs. And then I switched my smart money to the Eagles after I watched some of the film, and I just was like, I can't figure out how Kansas City's going to score in this game.
Yeah. By the way, good call on that NASCAR shit because Jimmy Johnson didn't win.
He didn't, but he did finish third. He did finish fucking third, which I looked and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, dude, I know. I should have. But hey, this is the thing, though, right? Don't get me wrong. They got their fucking ass kicked, dude.
Yeah, they did, and it was one of those games, dude, where like, Poulin, you and I have both played sports long enough. We played football long enough. You've been on the receiving end of one of those ass kickings at some point, right? I mean, I know I have.
Right.
Where like, you know, I mean, I remember playing a game. This is the flag football league we played out in whatever, and I remember like we're going up against a team, and it was a pretty big rivalry, and it was like the game was like you could tell we were kind of overmatched. But if we just made a couple of plays, like we had a couple plays not go our way, and we're like, all right, we're right in this. So we're down. I think it was like 14-0 early, and we go. One of our corners goes back, and dude, he's got a gimme interception. I mean, it's like it's gift wrap, dude. It's going.
Are you talking about in college?
No. I'm talking about the flag
all right.
football league I played in, right?
Got you.
And this is after we played in college.
Yep,
And he's got a gimme wrap pick six, and dude, it deflects off of his hands somehow, right into the receiver's hands, who never broke stride, and he just goes straight into the end zone. Now it's 21-0, and we're like, and I just looked at one of my boys. I'm like, really? Like, is this going to be our fucking day right now? And yup, that avalanche just it started coming, dude, and you could not fucking stop it. We've all been there, right? Like, at any level of sports that you've played in your life, you have just been on the receiving end of a bludgeoning, and there's nothing you can fucking do to get out of it.
With Oregon, Ohio. A couple
so
weeks
yeah.
before.
So here's the thing. But even when it was 17-0, like 24-0, I was like, all right, dude, they'll put something in. This is what I'm disappointed in, dude. They didn't make any adjustments. Like, they just fucking took the ass kicking and like.
They did
I
too
figured
little,
they'd come
too
out of
late.
halftime and like they tried going no huddle for a minute and like.
I mean, you saw how fast they struck 14 points real quick.
Philly had taken
with-
their foot
with-
off the gas, though. It was 40.
Yeah,
it was 40 to 6.
Or maybe 21 points. Was it 3 strikes? Maybe.
Weren't those the backups?
I don't know.
No,
it was
it
Xavier
was
Worthy.
just- no, it wasn't the
Worthy was
backups.
2 of them, right?
The fourth quarter, that last touchdown.
It wasn't the backups. It was, but they had taken, dude. They were celebrating like they knew.
They had already dumped the fucking Gatorade. I'm
Yeah.
almost sure.
Fucking 40 to whatever it was.
6.
Yeah, it was 40-6, but all of a sudden it was 40-22 real quick, and I was like, whoa.
No, it wasn't 40-22 real quick. It was 40-22 with like 2 minutes and change
Yeah,
left.
I
to go.
thought it was faster than that.
Yeah,
I was a little
like 3 minutes
I was
and
on
change.
Grandpa's old cough
You know,
medicine.
Yeah.
the game was over. But here's the thing, dude. So, not making excuses for Mahomes, their offensive line got fucking
Mauled.
manhandled.
Just
dude.
mauled, dude. And
So,
I think
like-
that was the underrated part of this game was that people didn't realize how good Philly's defense was because everybody was talking about Pittsburgh and Denver and
right.
Baltimore and all
Yeah.
these other defenses. And Philly, somehow Philly's defense flew under the radar all year. I mean, not with me. I've been saying all year that they were the most complete team in the NFL, but
looking at that D line in that game, I was
dude,
like,
they
fuck,
were.
dude.
And then
Josh Sweat was like by himself. Was like 2.5 sacks.
yeah, dude.
And like 8
Yeah.
pressures.
And not for nothing,
Monster,
but
bro.
Philly, they decided to play their best game of the year on Super Bowl
Sure.
Sunday. I mean, it
Sure,
happens.
no, they deserve
That's
it.
the best
And
time
you
to
know
play.
what
Yeah.
was good?
when
was,
you can get that many sacks and that many pressures and never blitz and only rush 4, bro, that is fucking crazy.
I was happy because it's like I felt like they'd been there before. You know what I'm saying? Like they'd gotten them jitters out. It's like shit. We lost to these guys last time. It ain't fucking happening.
Dude, I am.
You know what I mean?
I'm so fucking mad for not throwing $10 on 30,000 to 1. Will any team have 6 sacks or more?
Bro,
I'm
right?
so fucking pissed.
That's crazy.
We talked about it on the show 2 weeks ago. I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, should I throw $10?
So, Joey, this is the thing, though. I hate that people now are like, oh, this tarnished Mahomes' legacy. He's a fraud. I'm like, dude, let's fucking.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if we were going to crucify
and
somebody,
don't get me wrong, dude,
you know,
he
there's
didn't play good.
some other guy lost 2 out of his first 5 Super Bowls that he went to too. What was his name? I don't know. Everybody calls him the GOAT, even though he's not. What the fuck's his name? Tom Brady. Right? Yeah, that's right. He lost 2 out of his first.
Joey,
he
It doesn't tarnish.
went 3-2 in his first 5 Super Bowls
No,
too.
exactly. It doesn't tarnish
Listen,
the record. You can't punish a
Yeah,
guy
yeah.
for fucking getting there and not winning.
I think that's one of the
punch-
dumbest things ever.
No,
is to
yeah,
punish the
Joey,
guy for getting there and then not
Joey,
winning it.
there's people that are like, this never happened to Tom Brady. I'm like, yes, it did, bro.
It happened too fucking much.
In the Giants rushing 4, like, yeah, it was a closer game. They didn't get blown out.
And for
but
10 years, he didn't do
I
anything.
think that's what the Brady nut riders are holding on to.
Oh, yeah, they
is
love
that
this,
both
dude.
is
They
that
love
both of
this.
Mahomes' losses were like blowouts.
They were.
You
they
know what I
definitely
mean?
were.
I
man.
mean, listen, the 2020 Super Bowl, like the Chiefs probably didn't deserve to be there.
Nah.
They weren't that good a team. They were a walking wounded team. Tampa got healthy at the right time. Remember they got like Vita Vey back, like right at the right fucking time, got hot,
Yeah, but
whatever.
they were
By the way, that Tampa team was fucking stacked, dude.
Stacked as fuck, dude.
And they were
That's why
signing.
Brady went.
They were
And they-
signing key free agents that were like becoming free agents, and they were like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go to Tampa and win a Super Bowl
Yeah.
and play 5
Gronk
weeks."
comes out of retirement. Okay.
Antonio Brown, dude, he caught a touchdown in
Yeah,
that
you had
Super
you had
Bowl.
Yeah.
AB and Gronk on the same team in Tampa. Like, give me a fucking
And,
break.
no, and
Fournette.
Godwin and Mike Evans.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
Godwin,
right,
yeah,
along
oh
with
my
Godwin and
God.
Mike Evans,
Yeah,
along with
right.
Leonard
was it
Fournette.
Leonard Fournette, Uncle
was
Lenny.
really good.
Yeah,
That,
Fournette
Jesus.
was there.
But and then that defense
still had
was
Arians,
like
who
what
was a
Levante
good coach.
David,
What was
Shaq
Arians?
Barrett, Vita Vey, like
Fucking garbage.
Yeah, they were
dude.
loaded, dude.
dude, that whole
But-
team was.
but-
I mean, listen, that was
But again,
that
their
Tampa
O-line
team
was
went.
injured. Same, it's
Yeah.
just fucking.
People forget that Tampa team went 8-8 the year before, and it was like, yeah, they went 8-8. I'm like, yeah, with Jameis Winston throwing fucking 30 interceptions,
Yeah,
dude.
he went 30 for
Like, do you have
30,
any
baby.
idea how hard it is to win 8 games when you're fucking averaging over 2 interceptions a game from your offense? Like, that's damn near impossible, actually.
Statistically, that's insane.
Statistically speaking, you should have been fucking, like, never even saw a close to a win.
You should have went What was
Right.
that
But
Lions year?
listen, as far as Mahomes' legacy goes here,
Should be fine.
whatever you thought of Mahomes 3 weeks ago, you should still be thinking of him right now.
100%,
This should
yeah.
change absolutely nothing.
100%.
Just the same way when Brady won his first 3 Super Bowls and lost the next 2, I didn't think any more or less of Brady after he lost those 2 to the Giants than I did
Right.
when he won his 3rd. I thought,
Yep.
listen, I'll always put Brady behind Peyton Manning. I'll always put him behind Dan Marino. He'll always be in my top 5, but he's never going to be my number 1 because, and we've been over this, and this is another conversation for a slow, mid March show or whatever. But Brady never did anything, in my opinion, to revolutionize the game. He did.
No.
He just took what other guys did and did it exceptionally well because he had the greatest coach of all time, and he had opportunities afforded to him that no one else did because of that.
Yes.
Anyway.
Right.
And that's not me being a hater. That's just the fucking pure facts of the situation.
But he admits that.
Of course he does, because he's not
That's the
stupid.
truth.
So that being said, whatever you thought of Mahomes a month ago, your opinion shouldn't change of him now because of this game.
Well,
Not at all.
But what's going to happen is, and maybe Pullen's going to say the same thing, or maybe any one of you going to say the same thing, is that there's going to come a time where maybe this was Kelsey's last game. I don't think so. I think Kelsey comes back for one more year.
He said he's in his prime. He's fucking.
No, he didn't
killing
fucking
it.
say that.
I know.
Yeah, he's fucking like crying coming off the field every game now. So like
Yeah, he
he's
played like shit.
yeah,
dude.
he's close to the end.
played
if
like
not,
shit all
if
year.
not
He
already
was
the
already,
end.
yeah. When he checked fucking Andy Reid last year and pissed off in the Super
So
Bowl, that was.
so whether it's Kelsey's last year or Reed's coming to the end too. So there's going to be a change over here, and you might see Mahomes not make it to the Super Bowl now for 4, 5, 6 years. You might see that Brady period of like,
Yeah.
oh, now he sucks.
That
now he's
10-year
not good.
window.
Exactly. And then do I think the
Of
player's
not
going to
winning
diminish? No. I still think he's going to be top 5 quarterback at worst in the league. It's just going to be his situation is not great for him right then, and the window's going to have to reopen down the line. It's going to have to be a good situation. It's going to have to be a good
It
coach,
happens.
good team. It fucking happens.
It
And
happens.
you listen,
And with a
there's-
good quarterback-
Mahomes is going to have no shortage of like real good coaches chomping at the bit to go coach him.
No shit, or players wanting to go to KC.
Right. And
to-
Kansas City,
to
not
go
for nothing.
Play for him.
Hey,
to go play
Joey,
with him.
I just let you do call him Mulatto Jay Cutler though.
Oh, I
Cracks me
do.
up.
I do. He is mulatto Jay Cutler. I think listen, if you ask me who the most overrated player in sports is right now, to me it's Patrick Mahomes because and it's not
All
and,
of sports.
and people yes, because people don't
Hold up.
What people don't understand about the word overrated is doesn't mean I think Patrick Mahomes is bad at quarterbacking or bad at football. It means that people are putting him on this god tier level that I don't think he deserves to be on.
You know who the most overrated
You know what
player
I'm
in
saying?
sports is?
I
Well,
think
Joey,
Luka.
like his resume is pretty strong, dude, coming out of the gate.
AD.
listen, his resume is very strong. I'm not saying it's not, but a lot
Yeah.
like Tom Brady, he's had a lot of things go his way these
for
last
sure.
5 years where the chips have fallen in the right direction. Now, let's see what happens post Andy Reid. Let's see what happens post Travis Kelsey. Let's see how the Chiefs rebuild around him and how they manage his contract because I don't listen. If I'm Pat Mahomes, I'm not giving back $1. You know what I mean? I won you 3 Super
Yeah.
Bowls in 5 years and got you to 5. I mean, like, did they went to what, five straight now?
6.
Well, they went to 5 out of the
straight.
last 6.
5 out
There
of the
was a
last
break.
6 because
Yes.
they went the Rams Bengals. They lost
Yeah,
the
the
Bengals.
Rams here. Yep.
So
Yep.
you've gone to 5 out of 6 Super Bowls. Like, I'm not giving back any money, but y'all need to figure out how to put some talent around me too. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Chiefs manage this. Now, again, I'm not saying Mahomes is bad at football. I'm not saying he's not a good quarterback or I wouldn't want him quarterbacking my team. All I'm saying is I think he's closer to Terry Bradshaw and Troy Aikman than he is Tom Brady,
Yeah,
Dan
bro,
Marino,
that's-
Peyton Manning.
I gotta disagree with that, dude. Like, because the game back then was so different, dude. Like,
No. I mean, in the sense of like, he can go out and throw 25 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, and still win a Super Bowl because he's got a great team around him. A lot like, Troy Aikman didn't have to go out and throw 40 touchdowns like Dan Marino did. You know what I mean? He didn't have to carry the team like Peyton Manning did every year and drag these, 27th ranked defenses. And they're like, well, they had Dwight Freeney. And I'm like, yeah, and no one else. Like, and guess what? Like, those guys were easily neutralized once you got to January because they knew what you knew how to. Good coaches would figure it out a way. But
yeah,
Mahomes hasn't had to face that adversity yet. Now, if Mahomes goes and faces some adversity and he's out there with fucking bums and he's running around still winning 10, 11, 12 games a year, getting his team to championship Sunday, hey, listen, man, I'll be happy to change my tune. But until then, right now, what I see is a guy who's just been very beneficial from the situation he's been put in, and he's capitalized on it. Props to him. Can't take him away. 3 rings is still 3 rings. He's still going down in the history books as one of the best. Now, where does he rank in my all-time greatest? Right now, he's not even in my top 10. That being said, it doesn't mean that he can't get to my top 10.
That's crazy, dude.
Dude, come on. You cannot put him above. You got to, because listen.
It's a tough argument to leave him out of the top 10 at this point.
Bro, I barely get Brady's a fringe top 5 guy for me.
Yeah, but no, we've had this talk.
Joey.
Joey's like,
All
listen,
right.
Brady's top 25.
There's no way you can name 10 quarterbacks that are better than Mahomes, dude.
Sammy Baugh, Sid
Oh,
Luckman,
come on.
Sammy Baugh, dude. Come on, bro.
Dan Marino, John Elway, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady,
Starr,
Johnny
dude.
Unitas. I'm not even fucking kidding, dude.
No.
Like, these are
Aaron
Joe
Rodgers.
Montana,
No,
Aaron
we can't-
Rodgers.
Wait, we can't go
Ben
back that far. Like, that's
No, I mean,
way,
yeah,
that's
but
way
those-
too far, though.
Because the criteria for being in the
I
top
love
10
you,
for
Joey.
my
You
top
fucking
10,
crack me
you
up,
had to
dude.
revolutionize the game. You had to do something that stood out that no one else did.
Michael.
Well, he's made
Sammy
6
Baugh, Sid
straight AFC
Luckman.
championship
I mean,
games.
even like guys like Y.A. Tittle. Like, I mean, I'm going back now.
The Tip Man.
You know what I mean?
Graham.
Like Otto Graham. Like, dude, those guys revolutionized the game.
I get it.
Now,
it,
if
but
you
the
want to
game
go
was a
modern,
little
if you
more
want to go
simple, dude.
modern era only,
I want to go more modern because you can't compare those two games. It's completely
Where's
different
modern?
games.
2000?
Yeah.
No,
Modern
has
would have
to
to
be
be
like
like
85 plus.
80, 1980 would have to be
Like,
modern.
dude, those guys weren't running like
83.
fucking RPOs. And let's face it, athletes are way better now, faster. and
Yeah,
shit.
of course they are, but those guys were also playing against. It was all the same. You know what I mean? It was relative.
Guys in the 80s were
Yeah,
playing
I
on
get it.
coke, and it was fine.
Right.
Smashing beers at halftime in the locker room.
Ripping
They
butts.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, fucking Lawrence Taylor still has no idea half the NFL teams.
Doesn't like Lyle Alzado say that shit in that documentary?
Otto
30,
Graham,
30,
dude,
he was
that's
doing all types
fucking
of
great,
drugs.
man.
I mean, I'm not putting Otto Graham in my top 10. He very well could be.
No, who was
but
the first guy you said?
Baugh.
Sammy Baugh.
Baugh, Sammy Baugh, dude. That's
Sammy Baugh,
fucking
Sid Luckman,
hilarious.
dude. Fucking generational talents.
Unreal. Well, here's my prediction. I think they're gonna make it back next year, dude.
Wait, the Chiefs?
Yes.
No.
I think the Chiefs.
I think they're going to struggle now.
I think the Chiefs' run is going to come. It's not going to end. They're going to be in the playoffs.
Oh, definitely.
They're going to be a
Yeah.
playoff team. But I think when you look at the AFC West, with what San Diego and Denver are doing, I think it's they're not going to be a shoe-in for 4 or 5 wins in the division anymore.
I love that you called them San Diego, by the
Yeah,
way.
I refuse to call them
Dude,
LA.
it's too many fucking names.
Just like I'm not calling the Raiders Vegas. They're going to be Oakland. Like
I still-
I'm kind
Oaktown.
but the thing is, dude, I'm kind of done with the Herbert hype, dude. Like, we just keep hearing about how good he is.
Listen.
It's not his fault.
I know,
He
know,
gets
but
fucked
like,
up, though.
Is it though? I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards Poulin on this one.
Dude, he's getting fucked up.
I like Herbert, but again, dude, this is I did the same thing with Derek Carr for years. I stuck up for Derek Carr for years. Like, it's not his fault. It's not his fault. It's not his fault. Then he goes to New Orleans. It's a whole new cast of characters, ownership, everything else. And he still does the same shit.
Okay, wait.
I'm
Wait,
gonna
Maybe
give
it is-
him,
maybe it is
I'm gonna
his
give
fault.
him
Pause.
2 more years.
Pause. They took
Because I'm an Oregon Ducks
they
fan.
took
so
they
I'm
took
a home man.
every possible wide receiver away from him, and they said, "Here is White Lad McConkey. Don't say anything else. I love the lad, and I was very upset we didn't get him from draft day."
McConkey.
So they said,
that is a good
They
point,
said,
Sean.
here's Lad McConkey, who is my favorite draft prospect, and we didn't get him. I'm still fucking very sour. And they said, make this work. and he was like, "All right, this kid is going to be the most prolific offensive weapon I've had of
What did
all
he get?
time."
1,300 yards.
He got fucking insane amount of yards. Him and the
Like
fucking
15 or something?
and Brock Bowers, who was also my other love this year in the NFL draft, killed it this year. And
Listen, I love Justin.
but
Herbert.
they you can't take everything away from Herbert and be
Yeah.
like, dude, make everything, and then he gets crushed at the line,
But
doesn't
that's what
bitch
the
about
that's
it.
what the Spanos do.
But he didn't
So
bitch
they've
about
always
it.
I'd love him in Indy.
I
I'd
did-
take
I did
Justin
find it
Herbert in
weird,
Indy, no
dude.
problem.
Like Harbaugh came in, they got rid of Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler.
Everybody, he wants all
And,
his guys.
But,
That's his
but
thing.
that one playoff game when he had all those guys, dude. Which, by the way, that old coach they had was a fucking idiot. But they were up like 33-0 on the Jaguars or
Yeah,
something.
he was
Remember that?
he was a
Oh,
shit tier
fucking
coach.
And they lost, dude. I literally went to bed
Staley.
and I woke up and
Yeah.
I'm like, "What the fuck, dude?
Remember that dude?
How do you lose that game?"
Remember that dude who
Yeah.
made $100 on the Jaguars and he won like $1 million?
Yeah, I remember watching that game and being like, and it was 24-0, and the Chargers were up, and I was like, got him right where we want him, baby.
Yeah.
Like it was like fucking clockwork.
And then
dude.
since that time, the Jaguars have basically deteriorated back into like a shit tier franchise
Yep,
again.
that was their midnight pumpkin moment.
It's
Who knows,
unfucking
Joey? Maybe your Broncos take the next step with Bo Nix.
No,
Well,
the
that's-
fucking Broncos looked the part. That's the thing. I thought
yeah.
I thought they were gonna blossom into what they were this year. I thought they were gonna be next year. The fact that they blossomed into it this year makes me fearful that they're going to be that much better next year because Bo Nix, I didn't believe in Bo Nix. I said, Bo Nix, I don't really think he's going to be a good NFL quarterback. I think he was going to be mid-tier. But then Sean Payton and Joey was like, hey, Sean Payton really wanted Bo Nix. And I'm like, yeah, but they all fucking say that. They're all like, oh, I wanted Michael Penix from day one. Fuck, I just signed Kirk Cousins to $80 billion. It's like, okay, dude.
Bullshit, asshole. Nobody wanted Michael Penix.
Yeah, it's like, oh, this is kind of
Hey,
weird.
do we
dude.
think he's good, by the way?
Penix? Yes.
Yeah.
Can he
Penix-
stay healthy?
Penix-
That's a whole nother question.
Penix, I think, has the body of a 37-year-old quarterback at this point, and he's only like 22 or 24. Whatever
Yeah, I
age he
just
is.
don't see Penix staying healthy, dude.
Yeah,
that's right.
'cause
That's why
I was
I
thinking
don't want
about
anything to do
going
with him.
after him in fantasy.
He's
but-
ravaged with college injuries. I mean, ravaged. Like every body part has been injured. Like pretty. He's like Anthony Richardson, which I was convincing Paul of before he even drafted him. Paul's like, I want Anthony Richardson. I was like, dude, he's had so many injuries. He's gonna break down before you can even do anything with him. Same thing's gonna be with Penix. Penix, unbelievable left arm. I mean,
I just
like,
want
I
the
love
mighty
him on-
Penix laser to come out and slay it.
He
but-
could throw it anywhere. He could throw it from probably the 1 yard line to the opposite 1 yard line, and I feel like he could make that throw. As insane as that sounds.
Yeah, he's like he's like a Michael Vick dude with the hand
Yes, but then I feel like
cannon.
he
That
gets.
lefty hand
I
cannon.
feel like he gets hit, and he's like a crash test dummy because his body parts just explode all over the
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, he has a torn meniscus, and it's like he didn't. his
I mean,
leg
if
doesn't
you're
move.
in like a dynasty league, I mean, he's worth a flyer, I'm sure. You know what I mean?
Well-
Because just in case, but I mean,
you know what? You know who I would sell high on? Jaden. Because I keep saying this, and I've
He's-
said it last year.
Ah,
He's too
fragile.
He's too fucking thin. I'm so nervous about
I
that
don't.
guy.
I know. I don't know if Jaden. I hope
Unless
he
he's
does
he needs protein. He needs something.
something, dude.
170
gotta-
pounds. I ain't gonna cut it at quarterback
No.
forever.
No,
I was
that's like
actually hoping.
Bryce
I was
Young
hoping
size.
they beat. I was hoping they beat the Eagles because I thought it'd be an easier win for the Chiefs.
Oh, 100% it would have been.
Oh, they would have smoked the
If the
Yeah.
Redskins had somehow pulled off the upset against the Eagles, it would have been Kansas City Super Bowl to lose, and if they didn't, we would have laughed at them forever.
how
Like I can
racist-
excuse them for losing to Philly because Philly was a fucking juggernaut. Like they were just.
As much as I hate the fucking Eagles, I'm happy for Jalen Hurts. I do like him. I like Barkley, obviously.
Paul's a big
I
Jalen
like the
Hurts
guy-
fan too. So
I like the guys on their team, like AJ Brown, Devontae. Like their team is nasty.
it is a
but-
likable squad.
Yeah,
It-
I-
it is a
I
pretty
hate
likable
the
squad.
Eagles in
Not the head
general,
coach.
but I do like those guys.
The one person I don't like is the head coach. I just can't
Well,
stand the head coach.
I mean, we
Me
talked.
too. I hate that
Sirianni
dude.
douchebag.
I mean, what did we say
Yep.
2 weeks ago when we were doing our Super Bowl prediction show? The only thing that can beat the Eagles is Nick Sirianni.
Yeah,
Yeah.
legit.
You know what I mean? Because he's gonna be like, you know what we're gonna do? They're gonna think we're gonna run the ball 35 times with Saquon, but you know what we're gonna do instead? We're not gonna run it at all. We're gonna throw
dude.
it. We'll outsmart him. It's like, no, you fucking idiot. You just do what got you here. But he
Yeah.
did. Luckily, fortunately for the whole natural world outside of the only people that were upset with this were Dallas, New York, and Washington fans.
Oh, I was kind of
Other
hoping
than
John
that-
Mara would drink himself into oblivion.
I
Well,
mean,
if you watch the first Chiefs Eagles Super Bowl, the Eagles were up, dude. And Sirianni was taunting the Chiefs fucking sideline, And I was like, yeah, they're gonna lose, dude. He's a fucking idiot.
He is an idiot.
Yeah, that was a different Chiefs team though. That Chiefs team had teeth.
Right.
This one, I don't know. It just again, and like we said it all year, there was like they were the worst 14-win team we've ever seen. Everybody was like, yeah, but they won 14 games. I'm like, I know, but like,
What was it? The 19 Patriots?
did
Same
they?
shit.
Yeah, like they never passed the eye test. You know what I mean?
No.
Like the defense was great, very opportunistic between, Karloftis
Well, the
and
thing
Jones.
is,
and
bro. Once they beat Buffalo, because I thought they did play pretty good, even though there was some controversy. But
it's controversy.
once they got past Buffalo, I'm like, oh, yeah, they can win the Super Bowl. But I'm honestly, I'm pretty disappointed in their game plan, the adjustments. Like they just got their fucking ass kicked, dude.
No, I'm gonna.
It did to your point, Poulin. It did feel like Kansas City went in there and didn't change anything up. And I made this comment on that earlier because you brought it up once before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they had anything to change up. I think they were just kind of a run what you brung kind of team. And I think that it just finally took a team as good as Philly, as deep as Philly, as talented as Philly to expose them. You know what I mean?
Well,
like
I thought like maybe they start running some more screens and shit.
Nah.
Like I don't know.
You would
they
assume
didn't have the players.
I was to say I just don't
Yeah.
think they had the horses this
No.
year. And
Yeah.
Andy Reid and they'll figure that out. They'll get guys. I mean, they already got Xavier Worthy, who everybody was like, how the fuck could you let Andy Reid get the one fucking guy he wanted? Buffalo.
Yep.
It's on you.
Yep.
Blood's on your
Yep.
hands.
Dicks.
How'd you let them get him? Andy Reid will figure it out again come April, or you know what I mean? Like he's gonna rebuild that team. Again, I don't think this Chiefs run is over with Mahomes. I just think it might be the road is going to be tougher from here on out. Like the cruise control regular season, if you will, is gone. You know, they're not going to they're not going to be a shoe in to win their division, host a playoff game, and be off and running.
Well, Tyreek's trying to
year.
shoot his way out of Miami to go back to the Chiefs, is the rumor. So
Tyreek can do whatever the hell he wants, but
no, I'm just saying he's a huge piece
That
of
would be
shit.
something.
I mean, listen, if he goes back to Kansas City, man, it's a fucking problem for everybody not in Kansas City.
Why? Because he's gonna start banging all the chicks out there too.
I mean, whatever, dude. As long as I don't care how many chicks he impregnates, as long as he's catching touchdowns for the Chiefs, it's a problem for me.
I'm gonna admit something to you right now, and it'll be breaking news for the show. So I'm gonna look forward to the day that Josh Allen finally wins the Super Bowl because he's become very likable off the field to me. It's gonna be very exciting for me to watch him win because he's gonna be with another team because it's never gonna be with Buffalo. So when
never.
Josh Allen
That's fair.
finally wins the Super Bowl, I'll be happy for him because there's no fucking chance it's gonna be in Buffalo.
That's a fair point.
After seeing him win the MVP and seeing how hard he works and seeing all the stuff he does behind the scenes and the stuff with cancer kids and stuff like that, I was like, man, I really like this dude. I was like, it's too bad that Sean McDermott is a raging alcoholic and supports 9/11, and like I just fucking can't get it. I can't get behind this guy.
Yeah, we
Forgot
talked
about
about
that.
that, Joey. The thing holding them back is the fucking coach, dude.
Yeah, and
For
the
the
time
Bills.
to get rid of him was 2 years ago, and they didn't. And now I think that window's slammed shut. Now I think they're stuck with him.
What are they gonna do? They can't get
Right?
rid of him. Who are they gonna
Because
get?
if not him, then who? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're basically starting over
There's
at
really
that
no
point.
better candidates right now.
Well,
But no, like
I
know,
got-
it's
yeah,
gonna.
I
it's
gotta
gonna.
jump off in a second, Joey. But
Oh yeah, good. Finish
yeah.
up. No, you're good.
Yeah, that sucked, dude. That was an ass beating.
It did. And Poulin, I
But I'm
appreciate.
glad you're happy.
I appreciate. Thank you, man. I appreciate you calling in, and because most people after they pick the Chiefs or whatever they lose, we don't hear from them for weeks or months at a time. So
Or ever.
or ever in that
well, I'm
case,
not
some
really
cases.
a Chiefs fan. I just like Mahomes.
No, but you,
You know what
but
I mean?
you came in. You came in. You were
Yeah.
holding a big stick for your boy Mahomes, and
Yeah, of course.
You know,
But
I-
I've been
I
a
appreciate
Mahomes
that.
fan, though.
absolutely, I know you have since
And
day one.
Also, oh yeah, because my Giants apparently have the worst odds in the league to win the Super Bowl next year. I saw that.
I mean, are we surprised? We don't even know who their quarterback is yet.
They don't even know
No.
who the quarterback is.
Drew Lock, baby.
I mean, listen, you give me. Oh God,
Dude,
poor
who,
Drew
the,
Lock.
who the fuck does what's his name want? Who's the coach want?
Dude,
He doesn't-
There's a rumor that they might get. There's rumors they'll draft Sanders. There's rumors.
No, he doesn't want Sanders. If anything, he'd want what? Dart? Is that his name?
Well, no, but then I saw a rumor about them maybe going after fucking Kirk Cousins. Or actually, no, I saw this yesterday. Joey. The Rams want the Giants pick, and they're the Giants. Matt
Stafford. I did see that too. I just don't know why the.
Stafford,
I don't know who the
gonna
Rams.
fucking retire, bro.
Stafford's not gonna.
I don't know who the
retire
Rams-
with
Like,
trade.
later.
I don't know who the Rams could want that bad
His wife would fucking retire
to
him.
get that
Yeah,
pick
he's
out
like,
of him.
I played in a dome and in warm weather in a
But
dome. Fuck out
Pullen,
here.
thanks for
Yeah.
the call. But
Good-
we'll get into
good
the
stuff,
off
boys.
we'll get into the off season
All
stuff
right,
in a couple of weeks. But we
Yep.
appreciate the call, bud.
Yeah, man.
Later,
Good
guys.
talking to you guys.
Have
care,
a
bud.
All
good
right,
dog.
Brian. Thank you, man.
Later. Peace.
774-992-8702 is the phone number if you want to give us a call. Phone lines are open. We're talking all things Super Bowl right now, recapping it. Listen, Poulin called in. He took his lumps like a good true sports fan. That's how you do it. Like, listen, we're not all going to bat 1,000 every time. You know, I've been wrong on Super Bowls before. It's not uncommon. It's actually more common than not. Mostly because I bet with my heart, not my head, but that's just me. That being said, listen, I don't think the Chiefs' window is shut by any means.
No.
And as good as, listen, I think their trajectory right now is, in the words of Elon Musk, to the moon. The Chargers, we don't really know. They could be anywhere from a 15-2 team to a fucking 5-12 team. We have no fucking idea what's going to happen with them. The Raiders are going nowhere fast. They're fucked. So it's basically a Denver, Kansas City, race right now with San Diego kind of lurking in the shadows. Like,
Sure.
they could be really good.
Sure.
They might not be. We just don't know.
Sure.
That being said, if the Kansas City Chiefs go out and they, say Tyreek Hill forces his way out of Miami, finds his way back to Kansas City, I'm not really thrilled about that. Let's say all of a sudden Myles Garrett gets traded to the Kansas City Chiefs next year. I'm really not thrilled about that. Now all of a sudden we're going from, okay, yeah, the Chiefs window might be, closing, but it just went from closing like halfway to,
Too wide the fuck open.
well, we closed it about half an inch.
Yeah.
It was getting a little breezy in here. We just wanted to close it a little bit, Listen, the Chiefs have good ownership. They have a good front office. They have a good head coach. They have a good quarterback. They're going to be in the conversation. They're not going anywhere. So erase that from any hopes that you have.
Look what they did basically without Travis Kelce this year.
And look what they did with essentially what you
And
could
Rice.
consider a fucking skeleton offense.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rasheed Rice, Travis Kelce were basically
I mean, they were on the lucky end of a lot of shit, but
They were.
sometimes that's the fucking name of the game, bro.
they were.
Sometimes that's the name of the
I
game.
mean,
Watch them be on the complete opposite end next year, and we're like, whoa, man, they won 4 games. Fuck.
but Mahomes,
Not happening,
as much as I rag Mahomes and being the mulatto Jay Cutler, like even Jay Cutler was good enough for 7 wins a year. So,
Right.
by himself. So that's going to be the case. Kansas City's not going anywhere. They're still going to very much be a playoff team in the mix for it.
They're going to be another Patriots team. They're always in the playoffs.
Just perennially in the conversation.
The Green Bay Packers model. If we're always competing, they can't hate us.
Can't be mad if we're always in the we're at least in the tournament. We got to
We
get
got
to the
invited to the
tournament. though.
dance. We fucked up and fell down. But
Yeah.
At least we got there.
They wanted us to square dance. We came out crip walking, but wrong kind of party.
They're like, sorry, we invited Serena Williams. That's
Yeah.
kind of weird, to be honest with you.
So I'm glad you brought that up because
That was weird as
the
shit.
game itself. So I want to say, like, just overall this year, I feel like the overall Super Bowl experience
Tired.
was very lackluster.
Yeah, but that was the theme, it felt like. Like, I enjoyed Kendrick Lamar. I knew several of his songs, so I was like, all right, like, this is good. It wasn't just, like, great.
I listened to the whole GNX album. I know Kendrick.
Yeah,
I've
but
been
it
listening to
wasn't-
him for fucking almost 10 years now.
But I'm not going to say it was good, and I'm not going to say it was bad. It was very just like, it just happened.
I liked it from the aspect that it was just kind of a raw hip hop show.
Yeah.
And if you like hip hop and that's your thing, I feel like it was a good show because
It was fantastic.
it was really well done. There was nobody cascading out of the rafters on
Except
wires.
for Serena, which was fucking
there was
weird.
no like pregnant Rihanna ascending invisible stairs.
Right.
You
No,
know, like
yes,
there
no,
was
Serena walked
but
on
nah, but there
Serena,
was like
though.
yeah,
That was
it was very minimal on the gimmicks and like
No costume changes for him. He wore
Yeah.
those mom jeans the whole time.
right, like
Yup,
it
yup.
was just good. It was a good hip hop artist.
Say Drake.
performing. I think they could have done a lot better job with the audio because you really couldn't understand half the shit Kendrick was saying.
Yeah, it was very stadium
But
muffled.
also, I did appreciate the fact that he didn't lip sync it. He sang his own. He did his own songs.
Right.
Like
people are accusing Scissor of doing lip syncing, but who gives a fuck?
I mean, whatever, dude. I don't give a shit. Like honestly,
Dude, who gives? Yeah,
but
She's a feature on his songs.
but
like
from the
she was
game,
there for like 36 seconds.
like obviously the game itself, no pun intended, takes center stage. Then you have the commercials. Then you have the halftime show.
commercials.
Overall, all three of those things combined, very lackluster. The game
Commercials
sucked.
sucked.
The commercials were borderline fucking terrible. There was 3 commercials I liked. The Mountain Dew Baja
Seal.
Blast
Yep, the
Seals.
Seal one. That's
Seal.
the only one I really remember.
The Sloths with the case of the
Yo,
Mondays.
technically that was a Taco Bell one. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie. I was like, and I fucking claimed
it
Taco
wasn't
Bell.
a Pizza Rolls one?
and what was the other one that
The
was
Shane Gillis and Peyton Manning.
Oh,
made
the
me
Shane
laugh.
Gillis Peyton-
The
Peyton
HOA.
Manning
And there
one.
was a Pizza Rolls one that was pretty damn funny.
Yeah, Doritos and pizza rolls, and they fucking killed the alien. He's like, that was my, because the guys from I Think You Should Leave. That was my fucking pizza rolls. The guy's like,
Yeah.
it's $2.99.
Yeah.
So I think like outside of those 3 commercials, or maybe 4 commercials, there was nothing really good.
No.
And dude, don't even get me started. Like,
Dunks commercials.
bro,
suck,
the
no.
fucking browbeating with the commercials has got to fucking stop, dude. Like honestly,
What do you mean?
just the fucking like the one like the little kid, right? And he's like got the gloves on and he's ringing the bell doing the Rocky run, and it's like, and then he goes and he rings the bell to like say he's cancer free, and you're like,
Oh
dude,
my
come
god.
on, man! Like I don't want to be
Stop
reminded
giving
that,
me like that shit. Like I
like,
can't do
stop
kid shit.
fucking guilt tripping me, dude. Like I'm so sick and fucking tired of commercials. Like just shoving some fucking message down your fucking throat with a like the Tom Brady Snoop Dogg one where it's like,
Hated that.
it's just, dude, it's like I can't believe it's got to this, so we have to make a commercial.
You didn't.
You didn't need to make it. It's not this bad. The only people it's this bad for are the people who are completely out of touch with reality. Other than that, everyone else is fine.
Right.
Do you know what that would have made that Snoop Dogg and Brady commercial even better? At the end of it was just like Skittles. I'd be like, oh shit, that's crazy.
That would have been funny.
I would have laughed.
Or they should have just reenacted that 90s commercial in the locker room where all the kids yelling at the camera. You know which one I'm talking about? I can't really.
Why? You brought that up last time too.
Did I?
Yeah, you brought it up 2 weeks ago.
Well, yeah, I'm not staying true to my word, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, where they're just yelling racial slurs.
Homo,
Yeah.
bigot, and they're all-
Peter.
Yeah, and they're all yelling. I'm just like, oh, okay. I'm like, we already had that. We already did this.
Like, dude, this
guys.
commercial rules. It's like Cartman in the fucking and then when he goes on the
This
ride, like the Museum of Tolerance.
We used to turn the volume up mad loud when it
Oh,
was
like
on.
it's just like that commercial, and then all of a sudden it's just like, and it's like
Yeah.
Old Spice. You're
Yeah.
like what?
What
Wow,
the
that
fuck?
I'd be
Yeah.
like.
But
Oh,
like,
what about Kanye's? One spot, 30 seconds. It's him. He just stares at the camera provocatively, and then his little UPC code comes up. I didn't fucking scan it, but apparently, if you scanned it, it goes to his website, and it's just to buy a swastika on his shirt.
Yeah.
And it was, and everyone's like, "Oh, it was a peace symbol," and he goes and puts on Twitter X whatever, and he's like, "No, it ain't for peace. It's for Nazis, motherfucker."
yeah.
Yeah,
And it
he's
was
cooked.
like,
He's
"Eee."
cooked.
So
He's cooked.
my sister-in-law actually has her watch set to like vibrate whenever Kanye tweets, because he tweets and then deletes shit. So she gets the vibration, so like it pops up on her watch, so she can read them as he does them in real time.
That's dope.
Because she's like, he's so fucking off the fucking deep end,
He's
and she's
wild,
like,
bro.
yeah, no,
He's
like, hey,
wild, man.
dude, he's out of control. It's fucking
And
hilarious.
his wife Bianca.
He tells
was in
Bianca,
sorry-
he's like, "You're gonna show up naked."
She's not an idiot too. She's like an architectural design engineer or some shit. She's like a.
Isn't
She's the voice of a motherfucking generation. Lyrical
Oh, she's
wordsmith
like wicked
genius.
smart. She's like wicked smart guy.
Aren't they getting divorced now? Is that the thing?
No, that was a rumor.
Oh, okay.
So, anyway, my point is,
She's making way too much money
the
on
whole
Instagram, bro.
the whole Super Bowl experience was very underwhelming this year.
It was
and then,
overdue.
And then the worst part about the halftime show wasn't the halftime show itself. It was all these like pseudo intellectuals like trying to make it like into this big deep thing about like America was built on the backs of slaves and all the messages that Kendrick was putting in there, and they were so nuanced and you just didn't get it and this and that and da da. And it's like, all right, he was trying to put a message out there, and I'm like, all right, cool, but like it just took you like 62 paragraphs to explain the message, which means it probably wasn't a very good message. So the only people who got the message were people like you who are apparently looking for the message and looking for that shit. People like me, the guy who it's supposed to be getting to and making me be like, oh, wow, like, oh, I guess I have been fucking up my entire life. I should be a better person for X, Y, or Z reason.
Right. Look, I got Samuel L. Jackson, his Uncle Sam.
Yeah,
And blah,
that shit went right the fuck over my head, missed me with that shit.
Yep.
So, not a good message.
The craziest theory.
Not a good message.
Remember when the people were dressed up as the American flag and he was standing in the middle?
Yep.
They were like, actually, what he meant was the Crips and the Bloods were joining together to kill the whites.
Yeah.
It's like, guys, I'm
You're
dead
reaching.
ass telling
No,
you,
and it
it's
was-
not what it
I
meant.
heard a legit take where it was just like, that's because America was built on slavery and black lives. That's how America. And I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, we was kangs. I'm like,
a
oh,
lot
here
of
we
other
go.
people involved too. But
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. Let's go talk about like the couple 100,000 Chinese that died building the railroad out
Or
west.
the Irish.
Yeah, or the Irish. You can find all those Chinese bodies at the fucking bottom of fucking Lake
But-
Tahoe or whatever.
But
Like,
but you are right. I
Supposedly nobody can disprove or prove that.
but I can't.
just like the bell curve.
But I do think that they are going to. This is going to stop like another rapper from getting a shot like in the future. Like you won't see another rapper. Well, not in the future. I'm sorry. Like anytime soon.
I don't have a problem with rappers. Like, listen, like the 50 Cent, Dre, Snoop Dogg show a couple years
That was
ago.
fun.
That was fun. It was cool until somebody tried to make it out to be something it wasn't. Again,
They always do
When
that.
50
Because
Cent
it's-
was like fat upside down, I was
Yeah.
like, whoa.
like it's like, but that's half the fucking problem with these halftime shows is now everybody's like, how can I make this about me?
Yeah,
You know,
well,
and then, like-
and then you get some moron with a little bit of a soapbox on social media, and you know,
Like, oh man, yeah, the messaging in it, you just didn't get it. I'm like,
when
yeah,
you got
cool, bro.
60,000 followers and you happen to trend, cool, bro. Your
Yeah.
fucking takes.
You know what else apparently I didn't get? Inception. Movie sucked.
oh,
Fucking terrible movie. Stupid movie.
I would
fuck
have
you.
to watch it again.
Didn't make any sense. Made
I
no
don't
fucking
think
sense.
I've seen it from front to back.
Again, it was
You
just
piece
let's
of
just
shit.
let's just make this movie so complex that nobody can understand it. And then when no one understands it, it'll be like, yeah, you just didn't get it. It was a thinking man's movie.
I'm gonna stab you.
Like, oh, okay, bro. Like, you know, like just because something's fucking
you know I enjoy
just
that movie.
because something's so complex
I've
doesn't make
never
it fucking
seen it.
cool.
I really enjoy
I've
it.
It's a
never
fucking
seen it.
terrible
I've
movie.
never
dude.
seen
I
it.
loved it.
It's-
I've watched it like 6
They
times.
go inside a dream, inside of a
South
dream.
Park episode
South
of it.
Park
No,
sums it up
no.
perfectly.
I've seen that episode, but I mean, I'm not
You know,
saying
it's just
it's
inside a
bad.
dream. That's inside
Yes.
a dream.
Yes.
That's inside a KFC. That's inside a Taco Bell. That is in your son.
No, I get the concept that it's absolutely outrageous.
And my wife manifests her dreams as trains. We're like, why? I'm like, I don't know. Because. Stupid. It's a
It's
dumb
not.
fucking movie.
It's really cool.
Such a stupid movie.
Can't say I'm gonna watch. I'll tell you what.
Honestly,
I'll
it's the
watch
biggest
Netflix.
waste of like 2.5
If
hours ever.
Netflix thinks that they're gonna fucking buy out everybody and put NFL on Netflix,
Don't bury the lead.
Yeah, we haven't got there yet.
whatever. I'm just pissed off because I just got done watching a movie on Netflix and it was the cheesiest piece of shit I've ever fucking seen.
Was it a Netflix original?
I believe so.
Well, there you go.
He's like, no, it was made by AMC.
No, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It was a Netflix movie.
Yeah.
It's number 2 in the country right now.
What
I'm
is
like,
it?
The fuck if I know. It's about some. It's based in Boston, and some fucking bomb blows up on the Tobin Bridge, and some weirdo radical. It's like The Rock with like a militant faction fucking group. You know they're like
Yeah.
contractors, and they take over a bridge, and they want payment or recognition, and it is the worst bunch of actors.
Is it Trolls 2?
We could have done a better fucking job. No, I forget.
I just made it up. Trolls 2 is like a kid's movie.
Just type number 2 movie on Netflix. No, it's not Dose. What the fuck? Okay, I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. What is it? Oh, you on Netflix right now?
I just signed on to Netflix.
Yeah, go down to like number 1 or 2 movies. It's the worst fucking movie. Does anybody know what it's called? I just left watching it. Go down. Number 2 right there.
Aftermath?
Sorry, Aftermath. Don't fucking watch that movie.
I mean,
It
it's
is
only an hour and
horrific.
35 minutes long. Can't be that
It
good.
is fucking horrific.
Everybody knows in order to be a good movie, you've got to be at least like
2 hours.
Like, for like one of those kind of movies, yeah. I mean, like,
Yeah, but The Irishman sucked, and that was like 3 hours long.
Dude, The Irishman was bad.
That fucking movie blew ass.
And it was boring.
I've never seen it.
It was boring.
So long.
I'm
and
not a big
boring.
movie guy anyway.
I shut it
I
off
can't
with
do
2
movies.
hours into it. And I was just
I can't
like,
do movies
can't
anymore,
believe
dude.
it. No, not really.
Well, no. Well,
I started watching Gladiator 2 on the plane ride down to Florida.
I heard it was
to Daytona. Listen, I was pretty nonplussed about the first 20 minutes, but I'm only 20 minutes into it, and then I fell asleep. And then I was like,
watched
I want to listen to music.
I watched a bunch of it and it looked kind of cool, but
People are destroying it online.
honestly,
saying it's
I
fucking-
watched
The opening scene was pretty cool.
I watched the new Mad Max on the plane.
Furiosa?
Yeah,
It was great.
It was pretty badass.
I started-
Furiosa's excellent.
I started
yeah,
watching
that
that
was
one
pretty
again. I didn't
badass.
finish it. But I'm a dickhead like that. I don't watch movies.
Yeah.
Listen,
I thought it
that
was
whole
sick.
For me
new-
to commit 2 hours of my day to anything like one thing.
I like that Anya Taylor-Joy chick. She's cool.
They are killing it.
She does a lot of good movies.
I right now I'm just loving Dune 1 and 2, Mad Max, Furiosa, like
Timothy Chalamet's
shit
fucking
like
man,
that
though, yeah.
is doing really well like right now. But all this other stuff is like meh.
Spice Milan.
Yeah, it's the spice, dude. I'm telling you, bro. Dune is a fucking sick movie. I had no idea.
I mean,
that
I can-
George Lucas ripped off mad shit from that.
He's
from
literally
Dune.
reading the book and he's like,
Huh, write that down. Yeah.
Well, you
No
know, like,
idea
you
that
know,
Star
you know,
Wars was a
you know, like, you know,
ripoff
the
from
Star
Dune,
Wars, the
like-
Star Wars scroll that starts the movie.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
that was also stolen too.
that was done in Looney Tunes like years before.
and it was stolen from
Probably.
Star Trek too.
Was it?
Or that, whatever. Oh, yeah. I read a thing where like 90, like there's not 9. I don't know. I can't.
Hey, listen, man, I'm not here to shit on
Actual-
Star Wars. All right, that's not my
No, I
thing.
No,
love
no,
Star
no.
Wars
I love
too,
Star
but
Wars.
I'm just
Everyone
glad
borrows from
that-
something.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that Dune is getting the recognition it deserves and the money it deserves to be made, because if Star Wars is going to be that successful after basically being like fucking Steve Jobs to Xerox, then they deserve their fucking money too.
So you know the girl that plays Furiosa is Timothy Chalamet's sister that he already saw in Dune 2 in the future. She's in the movie for literally 7 seconds in Dune 2.
Wait, no.
He sees a flash forward of her.
Taylor-Joy?
Yeah, he sees a flash forward of her. She's in the desert, and she's an adult because in the movie she's in her mother's womb, not even born yet.
So how is Dune related to Mad Max?
I'm saying she was the star of Furiosa.
He's just saying it's the same ad. Okay, this
Oh,
conversation is boring the shit out of me.
Sorry.
The
all
only
right.
2 movies that I'm looking forward to that are coming out
That went
in the
over
next
my
like
head.
5 years are the sequel to Godzilla -1 because it can't possibly be any worse. Not that Godzilla -1 was bad; it was just disappointing to me. But with the bigger budget, it's going to be great. And Days of Thunder 2. Other than that, I don't give a flying fuck about whatever else is coming out.
The new Mission Impossible.
That looks pretty cool too.
Yes, if
Well,
you've seen the
isn't it a 2-part?
yes, you got to watch the first one. Watch the first of this 2-part Mission Impossible.
What's it called? Final Reckoning or
It
something like
is
that?
fucking badass. It's a sick ass.
Wait, it's not out
fucking
yet.
movie. Yes, it's been like 3 years.
I don't think I've ever seen a
Oh,
bad
that's
Mission
coming out
Impossible.
soon.
This is the second one that's coming out soon.
No, this is the first part of the last 2 movies coming out. Yes, it is.
No, it's fucking not.
There's 2 more coming out.
Yes, the
Oh,
submarine.
look, there he goes, standing his ground.
The submarine under the ice already happened. Look it up. There's a key. There's a key. It's under the ice. The submarine's already fucking fucked. They got to go find it.
Well, anyway,
They're honing in on it. You'll see. I watched
the whole
damn movie.
were there any good trailers for any good movies in the
No,
Super Bowl?
Zero.
The new Mission Impossible one. That was
That was it,
But
right?
that came out before that. There's Mission Impossible 8 coming out.
Yes. So all right. So you'll see. It's That's the only one. It's just the Mission Impossible one that I knew of anyway.
I'm trying to think if there was any good because usually like there's some pretty good trailers that drop during the Super Bowl that I'm usually pretty excited to see. You know what I mean for like
Dude,
the summer
nothing
blockbuster movies.
fucking stood out to me at all. Isn't there a Predator again? Or
But that's kind of where I'm at with the Super Bowl. Like
maybe not.
just
I don't
on
know.
the whole, I felt like the whole experience from like I can't do the pregame shit anymore.
Oh, the new Jurassic Park is a horror movie. I just found out.
That's what it was.
That was cool.
The new Jurassic Park looks fucking awesome.
I hope it's R-rated because Scarlett Johansson's
Dude,
in it,
that
so-
shit looks fucking sick. That's what that's what I was thinking of.
It's a horror movie.
Yes, that is going to be fucking. That one I will go see.
Did you Did you see that?
Sorry, it's 3 movies I'm excited for.
Yeah. So did you see that? What that's about? Jurassic Park. It's not an action flick. They go to the other island, which is filled with the fucked up dinosaurs they didn't want to put in the first island.
No
and this is a
way.
horror movie, dinosaur
What a
movie.
brilliant idea.
But this is from the book. It's literally from the book.
Jurassic
they wrote.
Park is like the gift that keeps on
Like
giving.
all
The mentally challenged dinosaurs. They
yeah,
have like
all the
disabilities.
degenerate
Yeah.
ones or
The deformed ones.
the
Yeah.
deformed ones. Yeah.
The ones that didn't make the cut. They weren't pretty
Yeah.
enough to be paid to look
Yeah,
at.
the ones the Spartans would throw off the cliff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was his name?
Zeus?
No, from 300, the Hunchback.
Oh,
Not Xerxes. That's not him.
fuck.
Damn it,
Ephialtes.
Ephialtes or something like that.
Ephialtes or something like that.
Yeah.
I hope may you live
May you
forever.
live forever.
And he's like,
What a kill shot.
He's like,
What a kill shot.
that
You
hurt.
might
me.
as well verbally have stabbed him in the armpit.
That was the equivalent.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the guy fucking asked. He's like, "I'll give you whatever you want." He's like, "How about a princess hat and a nice velvet robe?"
Yeah,
I was
and a
like,
bunch of gross bitches with saggy tits.
Yeah.
Treasure, yeah.
Treasure. 300 is a great movie though.
It is.
Wicked good movie.
Solid.
Solid movie.
No, there's some good ones coming out this summer, I'm pretty sure, though.
Yeah, the
you-
Jurassic Park
you
one, I
see
was
the
definitely
Mission
stoked on.
Impossible that I'm talking about?
"Yeah, Final Reckoning." But I think there's two parts. I think it's Final Reckoning 1 and 2.
Yes, the second one is this summer, not the first one.
Okay.
The second one is coming. The first
Yeah,
one.
May
it already
23rd. I
happened.
just saw it.
Yeah, the first one already happened.
Okay. I
Yeah,
thought those
Bad
two more.
as fuck. It's one of the best
I've seen them all.
Mission Impossible ones I've seen. in
The
a
last
long
one I
time.
saw, we went to the
Henry
theater to
Cable.
see.
Yeah, I love that Henry.
Who was
Cable
the blonde chick in that one?
Oh,
Hilary Duff.
No.
just made
She's
that
in a
up.
bunch of them,
She was so hot.
and she's in this. She's in the last one too. The super white ghosty blonde chick.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's an assassin.
I don't know. Whatever one I went to see with you.
Yes.
That was the last one.
And the Henry
where he
Cavill
does
one.
where he does that arms pumpy run like along the roof of the building.
He does
at
he
the
does that
end.
in every movie.
No, but it was on the roof of the building at that was
Oh, and he fucks up, and he did that in real life and snapped his ankle when he jumped.
yeah.
Yeah. Dead Reckoning Part 1 was 2023.
Damn. Okay.
So now you're seeing this one, Part 2, coming out.
Okay. I thought
This one was what I was talking about.
I
It's
thought this.
fucking
I thought this was
badass.
already coming out. Was two more coming
Oh,
out.
no.
All right, maybe I will watch. Maybe I'll take a break from because I got wrapped up in the Diddy documentary.
Oh, I didn't.
That was the last thing I kind of dove into before I went to Daytona, and now I got to finish that up. So, anyway, 774-992-8702. How was your Super Bowl experience? Did you like the commercials, the halftime show? The game we all know was the game. It really wasn't that good. It was great if you were a Philly fan or a Kansas City Chiefs hater, like myself and everybody else that doesn't like the Kansas City Chiefs, that didn't want to see him win. I know it was, not always the easiest thing to root for Philadelphia. It was kind of like one of those like, God, can we just get like a meteor to hit the stadium? And, that didn't happen. But Philly won, so it was cool. Whatever. I'm happy for Philly. I'm happy for their fans. All my buddies that are Philly fans, I got a ton of them. They're all super stoked, and they earned it. They earned the right to talk all of this shit. So, that being said, we'll leave it there for football for now. I think we covered everything.
Well, besides the Netflix. that's
Oh,
one thing.
right. So the big news before we get into the Daytona 500 and betting and NASCAR and the week that was and the week that's coming up, because now we're in my money-making season, ladies and gentlemen.
But you crush this shit.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at this. So, Sean, tell everybody
So
what happened with Netflix and the NFL.
Netflix made massive contractual news this morning because Netflix is trying to somehow, some way, try to sneak backdoor their way into the NFL, and they know that the NFL has an opt-out clause with the NFL on Fox and the NFL on CBS in 2029. Now, the current NFL contract for the TV and broadcasting rights goes until 2033. So essentially goes for 8 more seasons. They know they can get out at the end of the 2029 season. At the end of the 2029 season, Netflix essentially said, hey, we will buy you out of that contract to make it worth your while, essentially at least doubling whatever you're going to get out of that contract. If you sell us Fox's portion and CBS's portion. We also would like to buy NFL Network, and we also would like to buy Sunday Red Zone. So, essentially, what that sounds like to me, and
See,
to
Paul,
most
this
of
is why
America,
Netflix is only hiring those shitty actors in that movie.
Yep.
so essentially what that sounds like to me is Netflix is saying, hey, if we can get the NFL, now if you look up the top 50 greatest ratings of all time, I would
They're
think
all-
45 out of 50 are football in some way, shape, or
The
form.
MASH finale.
Yeah, exactly. It's like shit
And
like
then
that.
49
it's like
football
It's like
games.
Seinfeld, the final episode,
Yeah.
and like a bunch of other shit, right?
Yeah.
OJ running on OJ running on the Bronco.
American.
Yeah, exactly. So whatever it is, it's they
One of
think,
the World Cups,
they
which
think
is lame, but
well
whatever.
they think they can basically we can kill cable and essentially have 100% control of the market if we do this. And this is going to be their kill
The
switch.
MASH finale has slipped to 12th after a bunch of Super Bowls.
See, there you go.
11 Super
So-
Bowls, then the MASH finale.
Now they're essentially it seems like they're trying to buy a Super Bowl as well. So that's kind of like with the backdoor deal. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're buying all the games during the season, but it all seems like they're
But
buying
could you
a Super
imagine
Bowl.
That the only way to watch the Super Bowl
Dude,
is
the
to
top
get
20
Netflix.
right now, the top 20,
What do you- what do you mean?
in the
They-
top
they're
20,
gonna make it-
19 are Super Bowls.
They're gonna make it available.
That's insane.
The Mash Farewell is
They
the
couldn't even handle
only one in the
Jake
top 20.
Paul, Mike Tyson fight.
I think
they learned a lot
I
from
think
that, actually.
yes, I do think that
They
as well.
better have.
I think Netflix is very much poised. I have started to invest heavily in Netflix.
They got those underwater fucking cooling tanks with all their service.
So
Yeah,
this is kind of
probably.
wild.
Shit, you know what
So
I'm saying?
the top 10 TV events, not including Super Bowls. Number 1, obviously MASH. Number 2 was the Gulf War coverage.
Wow.
Interesting. Number 3 was the first Hillary Clinton Donald Trump debate.
Oh.
Number 4 was Dallas. Who done it? 5 was the Carter Reagan debate. Number 6 was Cheers, which I assume was their
Final
off, the
episode.
final episode. Number 7 was the 1994 Winter Olympics ladies single figure skating.
Oh.
Gee, I wonder why. Tanya Harding, Nancy Kerrigan, much.
Someone's like, well, hopefully their thong
Why
comes
was
off.
that there?
Number 8, the day after. It was American television.
The movie?
It was American television film that first aired in 1983.
The day after tomorrow. It's like the day after the apocalypse is bad.
Yeah, it's a film that
sucked.
postulates a fictional war between NATO and the Warsaw Pact over Germany that ends up being a nuclear war. Okay.
Yeah, it sucked. The
Yeah.
movie was terrible.
Yep. Then Roots,
Ah.
and then the Seinfeld finale. Those are your
Roots,
top 10.
a.k.a. I was forced to watch that movie 13 times in school.
Interesting. I just said I hadn't looked at that top 10, and God, gee, I don't know, probably since I was in high school. So it's changed a little bit.
But how would you feel? I have conflicting feelings on that. Now, I do appreciate in a capitalistic way that the Netflix is like, we can kill like all of our competition if we get the football from them because they have basically nothing else.
Well, again, and this goes back to the same thing like when you had Sony XM and Sirius Radio competing. Sirius XM was able to secure number 1, the NFL, number 2, Howard Stern. That was
Bang.
the end of Sony XM. XM Radio was no longer a thing. Then boom, Sirius ended up buying them up a couple years later. We saw the thing with HD DVD, and Blu-ray. The reason why Blu-ray succeeded, they won the porn industry. Believe it or not.
Bang!
Who knew? Didn't know.
Wow.
Didn't
I
know,
think they knew.
Didn't know many. Well, I mean, I don't know who buys porn DVDs, but apparently that was
Old ass horny
that
men.
was the deciding factor in Blu-ray
So Blu-ray was the king shit because
because the porn industry went Blu-ray instead of
And-
HD DVD.
And Blue Chew was named after Blu-ray.
That's a lie. We don't know that.
no,
I just made that up
after
right
the
now.
Blue pill.
Yeah,
'Cause
but
I just made it up.
yeah,
we know.
We know.
For a second, you were like,
No, I was like,
Gee,
thinking like,
thanks for
no.
adding context to that. We had no
Yeah.
idea.
No, that's
No.
I didn't know that. That's nutty.
So
Damn.
you have these certain you have these certain things like these certain markets or technology that once they secure one section of a market, it's basically the death blow for everything else.
It's all
Now,
about cornering that shit. Cornering the
I mean,
market.
CBS, NBC, ABC, ESPN, like they all have everything they do revolves around sports, right? I mean, CBS, ABC, NBC, the major networks, like they can sit there and be like, well, we have news. That shit's fleeting, dude. Like no one's tuning into mainstream media anymore. No one's getting their news from those people. I mean, the only people that are still getting those people are like 50 plus.
yes.
You know, or 45 plus. Like they're older than us, but not too much older than us. But they're like we all know
New
the
media
news
is the way go.
the news now
The way
comes
to
from
go.
podcasts,
Yes.
Twitter, excuse me, whatever.
Facebook friends, memes. Trust me, yeah. We see
Which
it
I mean,
all.
that's not news. That's a pretty bad way to get your news. But there are better ways to get your news.
But unfortunately, people take that as news. They're like, I saw a meme that says,
oh yeah,
this
no,
happens.
that I don't consider that news.
No, but that's I'm
Or
just
getting
saying.
your news.
Yes.
Yes,
that's-
people do that,
yeah.
but they're wrong. That being said, listen, I'm not tuning into no one's tuning into fucking Rachel Maddow anymore and being like, oh, I need to know what's
She
going
still
on.
does the thing.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. You know, I mean, you got Jessica Tarlov on Fox News the other day, like bitching and complaining that Trump was, doing flyovers at the Daytona International Speedway before the race. And he's like, oh, there was storms in Kentucky and a tree fell through someone's house and, why wasn't he there? And they're like, they were just like normal thunderstorms. Like, what's he supposed to do? Show up to every fucking corner of the country?
Yeah, where's Biden in the Carolinas?
Yeah, like
Nowhere to be fucking found.
right. There's like right. This wasn't like, and that's exactly what they said. They're like, she's like, well, if Biden had done that, and it was like, well, no, if there was a major fucking hurricane that caused, biblical flooding,
and then we offered you a cool $750.
yeah, or your whole fucking city burned down because of your ineptitude of your leadership, and they were just like, that sucks. Anyway, $600 cover about all that. All right, cool. Here you go.
Yeah, no shit.
Peace out. No, it's not the same. But anyway, no one's going to those media outlets anymore. Everyone's getting their media from different places now. It's not the mainstream. So, to Sean's point, if Netflix could secure the NFL contract, which I believe actually YouTube has right now.
For the NFL Sunday.
Yeah, for the Sunday ticket.
But I don't think that's as long as the TV deal.
That's usually like a 4-year, I think, deal. Typically, the Sunday ticket with DirecTV was usually re-upped every 4 years, and we were like, 5 years, we were like, holy shit, they paid how much for the Sunday ticket?
This was very much a Game of Thrones type move. Like, well, if you did this in this year, we would do this. Like, this is very much planning for the future.
Yeah, they're trying to crush media, which I don't necessarily. The capitalist in me says yes, obviously. Go for it, dude. Like, that's what capitalism is all about.
Someone needs to kind of like put the other side of me who doesn't like that, because I know what's going to happen. Netflix will then fucking screw us over.
Yes,
but then part of me is just like, I kind of want you to fuck over Comcast.
The frosted wheat side of me is like, fuck all those people. The whole wheat side of me is like, this is going to turn out very bad.
I got stabbed in the back after. Netflix, you bitch.
Like it's like when we thought when YouTube got the Sunday ticket, we were like, oh, this is going to be great. We're going to be able to have Sunday ticket like a la carte. You'll be able to purchase like this team's game, that team games, and not have to buy the whole thing. Wrong.
Yeah.
They just force it down your throat. I'm paying just as much now for YouTube TV, or a little less than I did for Direct. You know what I mean? It's just
fucking nuts, bro.
It's the same bullshit, dude. Like, it's just, we get fucking bent over a barrel, and that's the way it goes. Like, oh, cool. Do you want to watch live sports? Then you're going to fucking pay. I mean, do you think these $60 million a year contracts that these quarterbacks are getting are coming out of nowhere? Hell no.
Right.
You think Paul George is robbing the NBA for $210 million to play like 7 games a year? And you think that's coming out of nowhere?
NFL Sunday ticket, I just Googled it. NFL Sunday ticket has an opt-out after the 2029 season. Funny and coincidentally enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, obviously. There's always an opt-out. That's normal, though, because that's, 4 years from now?
Isn't that the same year that
5.
an asteroid's supposed to hit the planet?
No,
that was
it's 2033.
Shit.
33.
33 now?
It's up to 2.4% that
No,
hits
it's
us.
up to 3.1 now.
Oh.
Yep. That's okay. China and Trump are going to form the Space Force.
Isn't it only 188 feet wide?
But we're just going to hire...
It's a city
destroyer.
It's not like a end all.
And it's supposed to fucking hit like the Atlantic.
We'll be fine.
It'd be bad for the East Coast.
No, it would fucking destroy our insurance.
Get some fucking cowabunga dudes out there.
Yeah.
Making some waves, bro.
God, gonna get
Red
some
Bulls
fresh
all over
gnar,
that
bro.
shit. They're
Yeah,
like,
Red Bull's like, we're gonna drop a guy in from a B-52 Strata Fortress.
yeah, with a squirrel
Just
suit.
painted in red.
Yeah,
painted in
squirrel
Red Bull
suit.
livery. Like, yeah.
You're gonna have like fucking drones hovering in the surfboard. He's gonna drop in.
He's gonna drop in. He gets
so
pitted.
bro. Like, so pitted.
So pitted. He's like, whoop-ah.
Yep.
No, I think that would be a power move for Netflix, obviously, but I don't know how. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to make of that. I have to. Honestly, this is the first I'm hearing of it. Was today, so I have no fucking clue what it would entail.
Obviously, the news came out of it leaked today.
Yeah,
I guarantee this was from like a month or two ago.
Oh, of course. I mean, it's always old news that gets leaked, but again, if you tell me I got to pay Netflix instead of YouTube, like, cool, I'll just cancel YouTube then. I don't care.
And like I said, I think they're trying to buy a Super Bowl.
But here's the thing, Netflix. I don't think Netflix is going to get anything. I don't think they're ever going to get rid of CBS, NBC, Fox. I think all of those affiliates are just going to move from YouTube to Netflix.
Yes.
I think this is more of a Netflix versus YouTube move than it is a Netflix versus the world move.
Yeah, this is like a.
Netflix wants what YouTube has.
They're turning into Apple, Microsoft here.
So I mean, Netflix is trying to buy up all the live sports contests because they bought WWE. They have a deal with TKO, so when UFC's contract ends with ESPN, UFC is then going to go to Netflix because it's already part of the TKO deal. So it's going to be UFC, WWE. They want to sign a deal with tennis. It's the next thing they're working on. They're trying to sign. Well, tennis is just like the next thing that's up. Then they're trying to sign a deal to get golf on it next, and have live golf. So they're just trying to fucking buy as many live sports as they can.
Live or live?
No, I'm pretty sure just live golf, like
Just-
live sport.
just-
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, live sports.
Just
No,
so
not
PGA,
live golf,
So
yeah.
PGA.
For a second, I stopped and I was like, no,
so
it's live
they had
sports.
PGA events, like not lit. I just,
So, anyway, all right. So speaking of live sporting events, I just got to witness the greatest one ever.
Mm-hmm.
On Sunday, I was in Daytona
Second.
for the 500. No, the greatest. It's the greatest. I don't want to hear any shit. Listen, again, if you've never been to a Daytona 500, you've never been to a cup race.
have we gone to one? Have I gone to one?
There were 96 when DJ beat Senior to the line. You and Dad were standing you and Mom were at the fence. Me and Dad were watching on the TV
96.
underneath.
Yeah. A solid 9 years old. I totally
Yeah.
remember that one, bro. Fuck.
Yeah, it was a big wreck early on. Jeff Gordon was in it. Ernie was
Kind
in
of
it.
remember, but yeah.
I think Ernie might have caused it,
I was
actually.
9, dude. I was 9.
But anyway,
Fuck,
so
that
this is my
sucks.
third straight Daytona 500 that I've been to. I have every intention of going back next year. Uncle Donnie was there this year, which was fucking amazing.
I saw the video.
Seeing Air Force One do the flyover was one of the cooler fucking things I've ever seen in my life. Like, I mean, to see Air Force One, first of all, live in person, which I've never seen.
Was Free Bird playing as it flew over?
Creed, probably
I don't
Creed or
remember. I don't think they were
some shit.
playing. It was
Home and
I want to say it was during driver introductions or right around somewhere in there.
I was just
But they did the flyover. The
Epitomizes
place went
this
fucking
generation.
nuts, dude. Like, you should have seen. I mean, literally everybody was like whipping out their phones, their cameras, taking pictures. They're like, holy shit. The security to get into the track was worse than getting onto an airplane. So luckily we got there early enough, gave ourselves enough time to get through security, to get there for all the pre-race festivities, because the best thing about Daytona is it's NASCAR Super Bowl. So you kick the year off with the biggest event of the year, for those that don't know or aren't familiar. It is the biggest event. So you get the best, you get the F-16s, the Thunderbirds doing basically a small air show for you. It's awesome. The driver introductions are epic. The fucking pace lap, the pageantry of it all, the president being there. You know what I mean? Like, this is like, it's big deal shit.
It's pretty cool. Now was his car the armored vehicle? Because I think it's supposed to be like 3 tons, whatever the fuck it is.
It's a bulletproof limousine, the presidential limousine.
Yeah, but
don't call it that. Nobody calls it that. Only fucking tryhards in the media call it the Beast. It's not called the
Who
Beast.
calls it the Beast?
One person called it that like 4 years ago when it showed up to Daytona.
Oh,
Some
it was
Fox.
on like the Future Weapons episode and shit.
Yeah,
and all that.
no, literally no one in the Secret Service calls it that.
They literally, probably not them.
No, they don't. They're just like, they laugh at people that call it the Beast. They're like, yeah,
'cause
nobody
they're
calls it
part
that.
of Yeah, no shit.
It's the presidential limo, bro. Just stop trying to. It's
Did you
the
see the
people
size
who,
of the tires on them?
the
things?
people who call it the Beast are the people that are trying to sound like they're in the know. Like,
You
yeah,
know,
like I know the lingo,
I think
bro.
Who's one of the main commentators for now? Like, who was commentating the race?
Joe Buck.
Mike Joy.
Yeah, he called it the Beast.
Yeah, yeah. It's no one calls it that. It's like a joke.
He did.
Yeah, it's no one does. Don't do that.
I didn't. I'm just saying.
Anyway, the point is, so they do the
Just want to make sure I'm on the right side of history.
they yeah, I think it's it's estimated to weigh like 22,000 pounds because of how bullet and bomb proof it is.
Did you see the size of the tires?
Yeah,
on
it's
that
fucking huge, dude.
thing, dude.
It's huge.
Like the aspect ratio, like the sidewall, like a normal tire is like in the 50s or so. That was probably like 150. I don't,
But that thing still hauls ass though, from what I see.
Top speed is undisclosed. But
you
yes,
don't
it
know.
no,
Yeah,
nobody knows
don't
how fast it
know what
goes.
does.
Yeah.
You
It's top
won't
secret.
know. You'll never know.
You'll never know.
Well, yeah,
And you won't know what engine powers it or
Nope.
what does or what
It's
it
all top
does.
secret.
It's all
because they've shown that thing. They haven't shown what speed it goes at, but I've seen that thing looks like it fucking can plow through a wall with ease.
Yeah, it's
it's-
kind of what it's supposed to do. So anyway, they pace the field with the presidential limo.
the what?
The presidential limo.
You were so close.
Faggot gummies. So they they do that. The pace lap is like they do a couple parade laps extra
Yeah.
because it's Daytona and like the cars are going around. Meanwhile, like there's the president out in front of the fucking field. F-16s are fucking screaming across the fucking sky, and you're just like, holy fuck, America is back. You're like, this is fucking amazing.
That's cool that you were that close to the president, even though it was a couple hundred yards. I've still never been that close.
Dude, I mean, I could see him from where I was sitting. Like,
Cool.
I'm like, yep, there he is. Like, there's Uncle Donnie.
That's
standing
him.
there. It's right there.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
You know what I mean? So it was cool. Then they had, what's his name? Captain Marvel or whatever.
Captain Marvel?
Captain America.
Chris Evans was there.
No, Captain America, the black dude.
guy.
Oh, Anthony,
that-
the new Captain
Yeah,
America.
the new Captain America.
yeah.
He was the Grand Marshal.
The black guy. I'm like, what?
It's not Chris Evans.
I have no fucking idea who he is. I don't watch Marvel movies.
He's the new Captain America.
Chris
had-
Evans is hella white.
Yeah, I don't know. I've had sex, so I don't do Marvel movies.
I was like, wait, Chris Evans was there?
But he gave the command to fire the engines, and like it's a big deal, dude. Like it's a whole big
Anthony
fucking deal.
Mackie. That's what his name is.
Anthony Mackie, thank you. And it was fucking amazing, dude. It was awesome. It was one of the coolest fucking experiences I've ever had at a sporting event. I was sitting right next to, so like I'm at the end of our row or the end of our seats. We had 4 seats and then one right behind us. I had 5 seats altogether. And I'm sitting next to Lauren, and then my sister and brother-in-law to my left, and then PJ was up behind me. And to my right, so like during driver introductions, where we're listening to driver and they're going through the drivers and they're saying all this stuff, like and they introduce Shane Van Gisbergen. Now, anybody who watches racing knows SVG. He's a New Zealander who races supercars in Australia, the V8, like the Mustangs and stuff on road courses, Bathurst. You know what I mean? Some of like these crazy road courses that wind through mountains and all this other crazy shit.
Terrifying.
And he's won it like, I don't know, 3 or 4 times, the championship, whatever. He's like the best road racer in a V8 in the world, if you will. He came to the Chicago street course 2 years ago in NASCAR and just dunked on everybody and won the first ever race there. Like, he was just like, yep, I know how to do this better than you. And he won
car.
it. Yep. And he won Xfinity at COTA last year. Like, he's awesome. So all of a sudden they introduced Shane Van Gisbergen, who's getting a crack at the Daytona 500. I think he's running a limited cup schedule this year. And these 3 guys like pop up next to me, like on their feet, like, yeah, like start clapping. I'm like, geez, it like scared the shit out of me because I'm like, it's driver introductions. We're a few hundred yards away. The music down there is blaring. No one can hear you. But these guys like jump up out of their seats, pop up, and they're fucking going nuts for SVG. And I'm like, holy shit, it scared me because I wasn't expecting it. Like, I was like, whoa, whoa. And then like, they sit down. I'm like, so, you guys big SVG fans, huh? And they're like, oh yeah, mate, we're from New Zealand. And I'm like, you guys are like, is this? So I start talking to them, and they're like, yeah, we're from New Zealand. We're big SVG fans. I'm like, no shit, huh? I'm like, is this your first time in the States? And they're like, oh yeah, it's our first race, this and that. They first ever NASCAR race. They flew from New Zealand to Daytona to watch this race, to see their boy compete in it. And then we get talking, and the next thing you know, like I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like, oh, you fucking Kiwis. It's like, I hate racing against you guys in iRacing. And they start laughing. They're like, you iRace? I'm like, fuck yeah, I iRace. And they're like, we iRace. Next thing you know, they're showing me the pictures of their fucking like full motion sim rig that they have back home.
The guy's actually moving with them, and Joe's like, fuck,
yeah,
that's
no, like
cool.
they got the whole chassis that moves, like, does all that
God
shit.
damn.
Crazy.
So it was, I think it was a dad and his 2 sons, and it was
What's a rig like that go for?
dude, full motion rig, you're looking at least
Like a
10,
base,
15
like
grand.
a base full motion rigs. 10, 15
10,
grand.
15 grand at
That's
least.
just to sit in it, right?
But Nate Anderson was their last name. I think it was his dad. Nate was one of the son. I believe the son, one of the 2 sons, and then the dad was there with him. I forget their names. Excuse me. Sorry, guys, if you're listening. I forgot your names already. But Nate was the one that he took a video of the final laps of the 500, and I'll show it to you in a minute because you'll get to see my raw emotional reaction to Slick Willie winning the race.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's just me acting like a 10-year-old in the stands. But these guys, so I get to shoot in the shit with these guys. Long story short, we get to shoot in the shit. I'm friends throughout the race. I'm like, fuck it. I'm like, you guys flew fucking 8,000 miles to fucking root for SVG. Like, fuck it, I'm rooting for SVG too. Like, it was so cool. It was their first cup race. They had a great time. They were so fucking awesome. They raced like real cars back home, like all this shit. Like they do like all sorts of crazy shit back home. Like they were showing me all their cars they race and like
But they got licenses.
like they got like real cars. Like they pull helmets and fire suits on.
They
and,
have licenses.
Yeah. They're like legit race car drivers
Right.
from New Zealand. But they're like teenagers barely. Like, I mean, they look like they weren't. I don't even know if they were old enough to drink. I offered them all a beer, and they all said no.
Kids, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, whatever. Hey, fuck it, man. Fucking, they were
Good.
They were the fucking coolest fucking dudes.
If I would
I
up
fucking,
like that,
I loved talking to them. Loved fucking getting like picking their brains about their like what they were like watching because. The kid, the kid Nate that sent me the video, his like I rating was like 5,000. I'm like 5,000. I'm like, dude, that's like
Damn.
borderline professional. He's like, nah. He's like, it's not that. I'm not that good. I'm like, man, fuck you. My best was like 2,000. He's like, yeah, but you race ovals or road? And I'm like, ovals. He's like, I fucking suck at ovals. I'm like, I know, you're a Kiwi. It's like, it's just how you guys are. Like, you find ovals and then you come to just fuck up my day. But because these guys were so cool, when I get on iRacing later and I see some Kiwis racing ovals, I'm going to take it easy on them. I'm not going to verbally berate them anymore because these guys were so fucking cool. And I feel like we became best friends over the course of this race.
That's awesome.
And they were just the coolest fucking dudes. The race itself was fucking incredible. It was a very entertaining race. Tons of action on the track. Obviously, the wrecks, we'll show you a couple of them here in a second. The betting portion of it is what we were after, right? The betting part is what everyone's been asking me all year last year. We went over it. We did the statistics. We hit 11 winners out of 32 races. So we basically batted 350 300 on the over the course of the season. And we had, I think, what did we measure it at? Was it 11 or 12 other races that I had picked? Whoever I had picked to win was leading on the final lap. And either lost in a photo finish, a wreck, got past, something happened 12 other times. So half of those go our way. We're basically batting 500 on the season. Mm-hmm. So we started this year off with a dub. And I put up my picks on the Row 1 Seat 1 page. And I'll go over them here real quick. Oh yeah. So anyway, the Kiwis there, they he said, hey, friend me on Facebook. I'll send you the video when we get out of here. When I get some service, I'll send you the video. He's like, you were going nuts on the last lap.
Just scream.
And I was like, sounds good. And he friends me, and I got Luca as my profile picture. And he's like, oh, you're a Luca fan? I was like, I'm a Lakers fan, but now I'm like, obviously I'm a Luca fan. He's like, yeah, we're gonna be in Dallas in a couple days for the Mavericks-Lakers game. So like they're just Kiwis, you know, how, like Aussies and Kiwi, like they have holiday, where they just take off for like a month or two.
But you gotta go travel the world, do everything that you want to do.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, cool.
They go back home with their dad. Hey, Dad, we're at the track. We almost got sex trafficked. He offered us alcohol the first day.
Yeah. So my bets that I put in, and the way I structure bets, I do the same thing every week. 4 drivers, $10 a driver. I pick straight winners.
Okay.
I don't fuck around with top 3, top 5, top 10. Fastest qualifier, winning make. Like, I could parlay all that stuff into probably bigger winnings. I just like keeping it simple. I pick winners. That's it. And, again, we picked 11 last year out of 32, and we were this fucking close on another 11. So, this week for the 500, I had Kyle Busch, William Byron, Ross Chastain, Justin Haley. All 3 out of those 4 guys. Actually, I'm sorry. Kyle Busch didn't lead laps. Kyle Busch ran up front. He was actually, I think he was running 3rd when he got wrecked out with 15 laps to go or 10 laps to go.
Yeah.
Whatever it was when the Joey Logano and Recky Spinhouse Jr. Wreck occurred, which really just kind of seared my Nesmans because I had put $60 on Kyle Busch to win, which would have paid me out about $800. He was plus 1,300. I really felt after 20 years, 19 failed attempts. Dale Sr., same thing, 19 failed attempts, got it in his 20th. You had Mike Joy calling the race, like Mike Joy was calling the race in 98 when Dale Sr. won. I'm like, things are lining up good here for Kyle Busch today. Like, and I felt really good about it. So I threw my extra $50 on Kyle Busch. It didn't work out. Shit happens. William Byron, though, went off at the race. I think at race time, he was plus 1,300 or plus 1,400.
Okay.
Maybe even plus 1,200. I got him at plus 2,000 because I booked it. I bet him before the Twin 125 qualifiers on Thursday.
Yeah.
And his odds were kind of low because it's super hard to repeat as the Daytona 500 winner.
Okay.
Only 3 times in the last 40 years has it happened. Well, now 4 times.
Jimmy Johnson.
Negative.
No, he didn't do it?
No, Jimmy Johnson never repeated. Never went back to back. You had the most recent one before William Byron this year and last year. The most recent one was Denny Hamlin, 19 and 20. 1920.
Okay.
Before that, you had to go back to 94-95 for Sterling Marlin when he was racing for Morgan McClure Racing in the Kodak car.
I don't know who that is.
That was the introduction, Paul. Remember the X-Pipe? When they came out with the X-Pipe? When NASCAR, when the sound of NASCAR changed.
Yeah.
It went from like old school, just like,
Y pipe.
it was the X-Pipe.
I know, it went from Y to X.
Yeah, well, the X-Pipe was the new one.
Yeah.
That they came out with, and it had that high-pitched.
Harmonic balances, bro.
Yeah, that high-pitched, like, kind of whine to it.
Yeah.
And then Sterling Marlin won back-to-back, 94-95. He went for the three-peat in 96, which we were at. And Dale Jarrett won his second Daytona 500 that day. And then before that was Kelly Albro in 83 and 84.
I didn't even hit. I haven't heard of 2 of those names.
Kill Yarborough's huge.
Kelly Albro's an OG, bro.
So yeah, I never get into NASCAR.
He's like the Sammy Baugh of NASCAR, bro.
That,
you know what I'm saying?
That fucking still made me laugh. You're like Sammy Baugh. I was like, oh, Jesus,
Sammy
man.
Baugh.
Slinging Sammy Baugh, bro. Come on. But anyway.
Kill Yarborough, just another big name, big daddy
yeah,
name.
but I got William Byron at plus 2,000 because it's really hard to repeat as a winner of this race. So I got the odds. The odds were really good. I also took Ross Chastain at plus 2,800. I really like because if you remember last year, Ross was going for the lead. He was trying to pass William Byron for the lead at the white flag when he kind of cleared himself and didn't realize that somebody had stuck in below him and spun himself out and somebody else into the grass, and the white flag had been taken. Caution came out. Slick Willie wins. Joey wins. America wins. And then I had Justin Haley, who I believe Justin Haley, I think, actually led laps in this race too. Ross was the only one that didn't really do anything. He got wrecked out in the first big wreck, or the first wreck of the day, and never recovered. And then my bonus bets were Bubba Wallace, Ryan Preece, Noah Gragson, and Corey LaJoie. I believe all of whom led laps, or were very close to doing so.
Okay.
So I think Ryan Preece definitely led, Noah Gragson definitely led, Corey LaJoie definitely led. I'm pretty sure Bubba led at least once. He beat LaJoie back to the line, I think, 1 or 2 times when they were running 2-3 wide. Those guys were going. I had Corey LaJoie at plus 1,700 for a top 5 finish. I very rarely do top 5s, but I had Corey LaJoie at plus 1,700. I'm like, that's an easy. For me, that was a layup.
Yeah.
He was running. He was leading the race with 7 to go. So
You never want to be there.
but you did. Yeah, the worst place you want to be is leading the Daytona 500 with 5 laps to go.
Yeah, less than 10, you're fucked.
Screw that. But the bottom line is that our picks really came through this week. Like, we had a really, really good time picking. Kyle Busch was running up front, like I said, for most of the race, despite a couple of slip up on pit road. Slick Willie led a bunch of laps. Ross Chastain again was the only one that really didn't come through. Trackhouse had a rough day. Helio Castroneves got wrecked out early. Daniel Suarez though found himself there at the end again. Just being patient and just biding his time. I forget where he ultimately finished. And then Justin Haley, he took over for Corey LaJoie, who I really liked. He's not in great equipment, but Spire Motorsports tends to run well on super speedways, and Justin Haley was up there. He got up there a couple times. Didn't really threaten anything, but he was in play.
Right.
So if you mirrored our picks, if you looked at our picks and you just went and you picked one winner and then picked the rest to finish top 10, I think you actually made money, and a pretty decent amount. So I'd have to go back and check what the odds were on all that and what they ended up winning. But the bottom line is we did pretty good at Daytona this year. Picks wise, we did pretty good. Missed on Kyle Busch, but that's okay. But the other guy I liked was Ryan Preece. And Paul and I have this joke. John, do you remember the Family Guy skit where Peter's like making a painting and he's like, "Look, and if we take this and we put it here and we move it over here," and he goes, "It's Diane Weist." You never seen that one?
Maybe, but I didn't understand the joke because I don't know who that priest is.
Ryan Priest.
No, Ryan Preece.
Oh,
Preece.
Yeah,
Preece.
It's Diane Weist. Yeah.
It's just every time we see it, it's just we laugh because we're like, it's Ryan Preece. Like we say it like Peter Griffin did with.
Gotcha.
Family Guy joke.
But this is how big Daytona's got, right? So this is how big NASCAR's getting. And again, like this is just one of those things where I really feel like NASCAR is about to like take off in terms of mainstream popularity again. Like I feel like we can hit 06, 07 levels of popularity because the sport is it's as good as it's ever been.
Basketball's losing steam.
It's flashy and you've got shit like this, Sean, which you know better than anybody else.
And look what's here, number 24. That ain't Jeff Gordon's Hendrick Motorsports vehicle. No. That is the car driven by William Byron. Back-to-back Daytona 500 winners. And he's bringing AJ Styles to the arena in style. AJ returns to Monday Night Raw in action the first time in 2 years on Monday Night Raw here tonight.
That's really funny because I remember you texted me last night and I was watching Raw with my son. And my son's 6, and he just goes, "Oh!" Like he thought that the car was gonna slide into like the 18-wheeler.
Yeah.
And then he sees AJ get out, and he goes, "Oh, he almost smashed into that truck." And I was like, he wasn't driving. I was like, that's a NASCAR driver. And I laughed because I looked at my phone, and he goes, "What? What are you laughing at?" And I said, "Joey texted me." And he goes, "What did Uncle Joey want?" I said, "Joey asked if we were watching this because he was watching it too." And Joey goes, Cole goes, "Does Joey know the driver?" And I was like, "No, Joey's not a NASCAR driver. He just likes NASCAR." Like Joey is way too big to be a NASCAR driver.
Someday I'll know. Someday soon. But no, it's just like shit like that, dude, is like what makes it like that's where it gives me hope. Like we had The Rock last year as the Grand Marshal. We had Donald Trump this year at the 500.
It's all about spreading it out there and getting exposure.
Exactly,
Absolutely.
dude. And and for those that did watch the 500 or didn't watch the 500 and are intrigued, I implore you. Sunday at 3:00. I know you have nothing better to do or watch. NASCAR's going to Atlanta, which is another super speedway, super fun track, pack racing, tons of excitement. Long shot bet odds are just as playable here. As this is where we lost out on starting the season 2-0 last year by 7 thousandths of a second. At the time, it was the closest finish in NASCAR history. 3 wide coming across the line, 7 thousandths of a second separated the cars. But here's what happened with the 500. So this is kind of the wild shit that I think people really don't understand. Like, this is what Daytona and Talladega are all about. Big wrecks, pack racing, tight finishes. This is exactly what I'm talking about. So this is Ryan Preece doing what Ryan Preece does best at super speedways, which is getting upside down. So check this out.
And look what's here, number 24. And up in the air goes Ryan Preece. And for the second time in his career, he is flipping at Daytona. Good grief. Off the front bumper, we were talking about lap before. Custer got to his bumper. That thing went side to side, and he couldn't hold on to it. It was one too many. Ryan Preece, a couple of years ago here, flipped down the backstretch after getting caught in the grass. There is Christopher Bell with the window net down. That signifies to the rescue workers that he is okay. Same with Ryan Preece. So much promise for this new ride with RFK Racing and great speed in that car all week long.
So that was the initial clip. So I'll show you the second one because there's replays here. So we got a couple looks at this. This is what gets people I think really don't see or understand how fast and violent these wrecks can be. And it happens so quickly. And this one, the only reason I'm showing you all these is because I've never seen this one happen before. Like, this type of wreck, I have never seen. Paul's been watching as long as I have. I have never seen a NASCAR have what we would consider a blowover, which is what, for anybody who watches drag racing and especially Top Fuel, the dragsters, knows what a blowover is.